Because yeah, I have decided today to play a game called Process of Elimination. I can't really fully explain this game. It's a puzzle game, I guess. Visual novel puzzle game about detectives. I played the demo a while ago, and I kind of liked it. Yes, new game. We're doing new game today because I'm done with the Urban Myth Solution Center. sorry if I do like breathe out heavily and stuff like that. Like I'm trying not to like have this energy when I stream because I enjoy it and streaming. I am having so much fun streaming. It's just right now things are just much. Oh right, I completely forgot about that. Still in a sense, yes. Like right now I'm like that part is over, yes. Looking for like a job and all like this problematic shit. The problem is now I'm back of having to look for stuff. Take your time, dude. Not only are you doing something with new work, but also with streaming, with the morning stream, so take your time. Yeah, like I cannot say those two are really too much of a problem. It is just my body right now just does. I don't feel like I have any energy, and I thought that's not because I basically like worked late yesterday and stuff like that. I'm just mentally exhausted. Thank you for a response. Oh, technically we do have like voice acting. And yes, I completely forgot this game is quite of a dark game. Oh yeah, I'm just trying my best here to hold it together, basically. A murder game, yeah. We have like an automatic button or something. Yeah, that's fast forward. That's not what I want. Oh. Give me a second, I gotta see if I can. Unassigned, skip show, load, save, out text. No, auto text doesn't seem to work. Well, not now at least. But yes, so I remember we played as some sort of detective. I don't remember if we were like a newcomer detective, but we were on an island with other detectives. That's the only thing I basically remember. But yeah, I feel like Tuesdays are still like those kind of calm games with your puzzle games and stuff, so that's why I basically decided to play this game. I think our job was to try and like figure out this guy. I don't really like. I played the demo. I only knew some stuff. I know some of the how some of the detectives looks, but I don't really remember much else. Okay. Okay, so what he's telling us is that basically this guy isn't really a good guy, but because of what we heard first, we decided him to live. Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I can't remind. A detective and a murder game involving an animal-like costume characters. Maybe perhaps be white, purplish hair teenager girl detective. Nope. Unfortunately not. No, no Kunyoko. I was trying to figure out with animal heads, animal costumes. Which game are you thinking of? Because I think I know Kyoko, and that was basically from Danganronpa, but I can't remember anything with animal costumes there. The video cuts off at 4 minutes and 52 seconds. As a hacked broadcast, those who ran the website were powerless to stop it. The video, just shy of 5 minutes, is shared across the net, mostly among the youth. But things don't end with that. Not just the broadcast victim, but other killed in the same manner as are soon discovered. The common thread: at least 2 victims are always found at once, with their lock screens set to the symbol of the quartering duke. The police pour all of their resources into investigating the case, but turned up nothing. Pair by pair, more and more bodies surfaced, until half a year later, over 100 have been killed since that first broadcast. Jesus. The sheer number of victims and brutality of the murder fling society to chaos. This is us. This is basically who we play as. I grip my phone tight as I read the article about the murders, speaking aloud despite myself. I've seen the effects of this duke all around me. People are terrified to go outside, and stores have even shortened their hours. What's worse, he gained some traction among young copycats taken by his charisma. With the police overwhelmed, small private agencies like mine are in huge demand. Apparently even the FBI is getting involved. Yes, we are a small business detective. Past event had already stricken the need for this line of work, but the Duke has only made things worse. The media jeers at the detective craze. Mr. Gunjoji says that the ideal society is a peaceful one, where detectives are starved for work. You may be right about that. Yeah, that's because right now everyone is just asking a detective to basically fix this. As I lay in wait for my mark, I recall my mentor's words and sigh for myself. I work for the Gunjoji Detective Agency. It's probably one of the pioneer agencies around, though nowadays we're buzzing with activity. I'm a student working part-time, but the plan to recruit me once I graduated, the situation must be getting pretty serious nationwide. The thought alone makes me a bit miserable. Is this really the face by all aspiring detectives? Just a reality faced. Okay, that's enough of that. My worries run wild when I'm on my own. It's a bad habit, but I got to focus on work. No, we are a guy, I think. There is gonna be a woman, but we are a guy, I think. There he is. My mark is on the move. After a moment's pause, the man clad in a trench coat. Oof, yeah. And the man clad in a trench coat starts off down the road again. I make sure I'm out of earshot before calling in my report, just as my mentor had instructed. I miss women. Fair enough. Quieting my steps, I followed the man cautiously. He's our top suspect of the serial pet killer case, and according to Miss Gunjoji, he may be armed. Whatever I do, I absolutely cannot allow my presence to be detected. Yeah, that was quick. Suddenly the man is right in front of me, and I reflexively take a step back. Jesus, I can barely read this morning. Did he notice me, following him, despite the cover of darkness and my voice being out of earshot? I hope the sound is good for you all, because I can't really see that right now. As I try to move past him, the man blocks my path. Apparently I was already seen. That's fair enough. He was basically pausing on the street and we paused as well. And for him to basically say like, yeah, you only stop here if you actually is trying to like see if someone follows you, that is perfectly viable. So the very act of pausing here was a trap. How could I make such a rookie mistake? It didn't even register with me. I have no one to blame but myself. Jesus. Butchering my ways of doing things apparently. Blood rushes to my face. I poured everything into becoming a detective. His words sting worse than a slap to the face. There's no way I can just let it slide. And you know what I hate? Trying to get past a girl at night who don't think you're following her, only for her to get faster as well. Fair enough, actually. I can more or less like imagine that, like, yeah, that is fair. Don't patronize me. I'm Watu Hojo, assistant at the Gunjoji Detective Agency. Oh, I don't need to say this. Like, sure, it is in Japanese, I think. So I can't really like... I can't understand what they're saying, but I'm not gonna like talk while they're doing voice acting because, yeah, it's easier to just let it be. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can get more comfortable with how I sit. Because right now I don't really have like too much of a comfortable way of sitting. I'd hoped the edge in my word would intimidate him, but the man only lets out an exasperated sigh.
本当に名乗るなど原点3だな。ドラマの世界ではないんだぞ。現実の探偵は身の上を一くするものだ。さてはお前さん、探偵ドラマ好きだな。
Apparently spot on. As much as I hate it, he reads me like a completely open book. Oh, okay, I pressed the wrong button and that only hides the text. The moment a detective reveals himself always seems so cool in television. But he's right, sharing your identity in this line of work is far too dangerous. Something to keep in mind next time.
それで、その探偵助手君がたった一人で、この私を連行できるつもりか？凶器を手にしているだろう大人の男を相手に。
Good question, I might just run. The man slid his hand into his pocket and readies his stance, clearly holding a weapon. This is the first time I've gone up against someone armed with a knife, but I still feel my hair standing on end. My heart slams frantically against my rib cage as I freeze up, willing to my trembling leg to remain steady. Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. Do tell me, what happened on Saturday? Think you can buy yourself time, Mr. Wannabe Detective? I tear off my jacket and wrap it around my left wrist to form a makeshift glove, a guard against his knife. In my dominant hand, I grip a pair of handcuffs, like a brass knuckle, on as best as I can. I face off with a man. The man just watches me, showing no sign of movement. Good. He's probably never seen anyone use handcuffs for self-defense before. I think I told you, but I don't know. But I texted my crush after 2 months and she replied, and it seems like she was happy to text me. For 20 minutes, but I guess 20 minutes is pretty long time on text, so I'm happy. Yes! That sounds wonderful, to be honest. I'm happy for you. It's only natural he'd be worried. And apparently knows about the technique. I'm stuck speechless. What are the odds he'd know this tactic? I fumble for an answer, but my mind goes blank.
いくら珍しい格闘術といえど、この世界に長らく身を置く者には通じないと思った方がいい。
Fair enough.
だがまあ、並の犯罪者相手なら通用したことは事実。自分の無力さを理解した上で最善の対策を講じたことは認めよう。その探偵としての光る資質、10点をやるぞ少年。リーダーが
The man suddenly backs down and speaks with a smile. Wait. What? Is this another trap? Glancing my way, he continues.
勘違いさせてすまないな。私は動物虐待の犯人ではない。本当の犯人は被害者の隣の家の息子で。
Yeah, thanks. It was kind of funny because I showed her the sort of mock drawing I made. Oh god. That she's also an artist, and she said it looks so Sigma. And she said one as well that we were just spoke in brain rot that ends with her sending me that freaky Sonic gif. Oh, that sounds wonderful though. Oh, good lord. Oh, you showed that picture. Yeah, I know what that picture is. I'm glad. I'm glad you had fun.
浪人のストレスから逃れるように八つ咲き港に浸水して犯行に及んだらしい。人間を八つ咲きにする勇気がないからと動物に手をかけるとは呆れたものだ。
あなたは一体。
And yes, if I am a bit too quiet, I do apologize. Still a bit tired, still a bit, well, tired in every way, basically. Upon hearing my question, the man pulls what looks to be a tablet out of his pocket. The screen shows a familiar symbol and the word Detective Alliance.
探偵同盟
I can't help but yell out the name. The Detective Alliance. The very organization I revere more than anything else.
そう。
Yeah, it was a nice 10-10 wish it would happen again. Yeah, I believe it's gonna happen again. Because it sounds from your point that she actually was happy that you text her again.
お前さんも探偵を志す身なら聞き覚えがあるだろう。
And dude, it's like 9 in the morning there. I can't blame you for not being loud or talking much. Yeah, I have to say that I'm just vibing with the game right now. Yeah, it's about 9:48 basically. Morning stream this time. Also at the same time, whenever there is like voice acting, I don't really talk too much because I listen to what they say. I guess that's also a thing that basically happens. As I calm down, my face begins to burn bright red. I had let my excitement carry me away on a totally nerdy rant. Still, the Detective Alliance has been the dream I've aspired to ever since I learned about it from Mr. Gunjoji. Yeah, if I'm not remembering correctly, everyone in this like alliance and stuff basically have a quirk in a sense. To put it simple, he is called a senior detective, and then we have, for example, I don't remember if that was their name, but like armor detective or like technician detective. Basically, there is a detective for more or less anything. Just gonna stretch my legs a bit, it's difficult. I don't really have a good way to sit. There we go, I think this is good. Just a little cold on the feet right now, I feel.
まだまだ若い探偵には負けんがな。今回の動物殺傷事件などは少々骨がなさすぎたくらいだよ。
As prideful as he sounds, I can tell by his expression that he is speaking purely of well-earned experience. He has an air about him that, unlike anyone I've met, the kind that it could only come from a member of the Detective Alliance. As secretive as it is, the Detective Alliance has grown more famous by the day thanks to the recent detective craze. Even now, the news is full of stories about the case cracked by the Detective Alliance members. Yeah, and these are actually the members, because I do recognize some of them. Then there is all the terrorist plots in the wake of the Quartering Duke incident that they reported with almost zero leads. The whole reason I joined the detective agency was to carve the path of earning a spot alongside those detectives one day. Looked up by the detectives far and wide, the Detective Alliance is the absolute paragon for those pursuing justice.
発言ばかりして本当にすみません、老子探偵さん。僕勝手な勘違いばかりして犯人呼ばわりまでしてしまって。
I don't think there is anything to apologize for. You were doing your job, and he technically was checking how you were doing your job.
よしてくれ。
Don't be. I was egging you on. After all, no need for this, sir, either. In our field, the alliance itself serves as a title of respect. The senior detective amicably shrugs off my apology. His unshakable calm only makes me wary of where this is going. Yeah, because why is he here, and also why is he dealing with us? Then, as if noticing how on edge I look, he continues to speak.
担当直入に目的を言うと、私はお前をスカウトへ来たんだ。お前には我々の本拠地で開催予定の八つ崎港事件への対策会議に出席してもらいたい。
Yeah, and this was on the island that was spoke about before.
はい。
Huh? I respond lamely, unable to fully grasp what he is saying.
もう一度言うぞ。探偵同盟の一員として八つ崎港事件の捜査に協力してほしいと言っているんだ。
I do wonder why, though, like, they just took us. Especially with the thought of the whole, like, we are new to this. Because I'm just gonna make myself a bit more cozier. Oh, what was that? Oh. Oh shit, I didn't know I had that one. Okay. That's also a menu, apparently. So I can, like, save. Oh yeah, I can. Oh, okay. That's an interesting way. I'm basically using the left stick. And then just select. Whoa. Oh, nope, not a dream. Maybe this is Mr. Gunjuji's idea of a prank. I'll send off him anywhere, so probably not. Which means...
冗談じゃないんですか。
Also the music in the background. Yes, we go to with the sauce, exactly. Receive the oh, I didn't spoke. My mind goes blank again. But if this is real, then my dream is coming true far sooner than I ever imagined. There was so much I could learn, so many accomplishments and detectives I could meet. The ideal detectives, like the ones I aspired to be, the kind who would prevent the tragedy that unfolds before my eyes 10 years ago. Right, something happened 10 years ago. Completely forgot about his like sort of backstory thing. I guess it's just gonna be a yes completely. How can I hesitate? I stated my intentions loud and clear. Yes or yes. Remember what I talked about before, how it feel like how I feel right now? This is more or less resembling exactly how I feel, like how I feel. Just to more or less make it like an image of where my brain is right now. The moment I try to answer, see the detective's arm hook around my neck and begins to squeeze like a vice. It's so tight I can't breathe. I've flailed to kick frantically. But all I hit is the air and the ground below my feet. I feel a prick as a slender needle pierces the skin of my neck. What feels like liquid ice begins to pump through my veins. My skin turns pale, my limbs go numb, and my strength fades. My vision blurs, and my legs start to give out. I sag against a man restraining me. And then, as if the stars have been swept from the night sky, everything goes black. Ugh, why is everything I play in a game so fucking similar to how I feel recently? I think we talked about that with the whole, like, what was I playing again? Various Day Life. Process of elimination. Yeah, I haven't felt this way in a long time. My consciousness drags sluggishly as I'm trapped in a thick, as if I'm trapped in thick mud, helplessly sinking deeper and deeper. As much as I try to shut it out, the traumatic nightmare pulls me in once again. Yeah, this is his apparently origin story, as we could call it. In my dream, running down a dark frigid corridor, holding on tight to the hand of a girl my age.
私もう走れない。あなただけでも逃げて。
何を言ってるのサイカちゃん。二人で逃げるって約束したでしょ。
でももう走れ。
And this was basically 10 years ago from when we played before. The girl is beautiful, with bewitching black hair, pure white skin, and light purple eyes, reminiscent of hydrangeas. I can't really pronounce that, but I know it's a flower. Yes, life has a way of making you reflect on your current situation. It really does. And then, right before my eyes, a blade swings down and slashes her, covering her in a burst of red.
サイカちゃん。して。
I clutch onto her before she can collapse and face the criminal that did this to her. The massive, unmistakably inhuman silhouette amidst a strange mechanical blur. Its murderous intent is nearly enough to pierce through flesh as it focuses on me. I prepare to die as no more than a child. But at that moment, the girl in my arms strains to get the words out as her voice begins to fail. I might escape if I leave her now and run, but maybe I can still save her. There's no way I can just abandon her. To be fair, I was also like that when I first played Persona 3 and something 3. I am so bad with those. It just hits differently with what's going on with me at the time. Yeah, I can absolutely understand that.
みんなを助ける。
Oh, Metal Gear Solid, thank you. That's all I can remember. My memory cuts out completely, as if the next page has been torn out. However, since I'm alive, it's obvious what came after. I traded Saika's life to save my own. This was the mass kidnapping and a confinement incident I was in a decade ago. The reason I became a detective. A shadowy organization took 16 children and locked them in an underground prison for a month, never to be caught. I'm supposed to just live with the sacrifices that came out of that, like Saika. I was too incompetent to save even one girl, but I refused to leave it there. My heart and soul demanded I see through. I will become a great detective, a hero, and one day I'll reveal the truth behind what happened 10 years ago. Ooh, exciting. Day 1, afternoon. I've finally come to. My eyelids are so heavy, just opening them is an undertaking. That was one long dream. It was one I've had countless times before. Of that fateful day I swore I'd become a detective. That incident remains unsolved to this day. What really happened all those years ago? As a survivor, the vague testimony I provided didn't help much. The case has gone cold for 10 years now. I've got to find the truth, to track down the villain who killed Saika, the girl I owed my life to. That's why I entered this line of work. But that aside, my whole body is aching right now. My mattress feels like a rock and smells like rust. And I managed to pry my eyes open, but everything is pitch black. What's more, I can't even move. My limbs are restrained like I've been wrapped in some kind of sleeping bag. Don't tell me I'm trapped in here.
なんだよこの状況。
Mustering all my strength, Oh, okay. Now I understand the automatic thing. It doesn't say anywhere. It's just like when that little thing starts to spin, that's automatic. Whatever restrained me slackens as my own momentum forced me upright. The side I'm met with is...
森それにこの音って波の音。
It's just a forest. Lush woodlands lies before my eyes. Beneath me is an old rusty locker. Yes, that's what I've been stuffed in just a moment ago. Also, everyone, we are gonna have an ad in about 5 minutes, just warning you all.
全身が痛い。どれだけ長く閉じ込められていたんだよ。
Who could do this to me and why? When did I even get here? What the heck is going on? My head swirls in confusion as I try to recall what happened last night.
僕は老子探偵とかいう人に会ってそれから。
The haziness clears as I begin to remember. I was suddenly attacked by a senior detective and eventually lost consciousness. He claimed to be a part of the Detective Alliance, but maybe that was just a bluff.
待てよ。あの人が嘘をついていたなら、例のペット殺しの犯人は野放しってことか。早く元の場所に戻らないと。
This guy has priorities. I reach to grab my smartphone, but after frantically searching, I realize that my front pocket had been emptied. As I continue searching my person, I notice an unfamiliar weight in my back pocket. That's where I normally keep stuff back there. Suspicious, I carefully pluck the foreign object from my pocket. It's a tablet device, like an oversized smartphone, more or less. The moment I see it, thought, a chill runs down my spine.
これってまさか。
I lift it up, touching the button out of a habit. Then a notification appears. Authentication successful.
おはよう、北条ワト君。探偵デバイスを起動させたようだな。薬の効果とはいえ、まさか数日も眠り続けるとは減点1だぞ。
3 days straight, damn. At the same time, if this is a recording, then how does he know it's been 3 days? Or it might be live. Nah, I think it's a recording because it was way too, perfect timing for it. As the tablet comes to life, a familiar voice emanates from its speaker.
お前さんをこの場に連れてきた張本人、老子探偵だ。3日前にもあったな。もっとも、お前さんは眠り続けていたから、つい先ほどの出来事に思うだろうがな。
Damn.
僕は3日も眠ってたのか。
I do wonder if that's a lie or not. So Mr. Senior Detective, the one reaching out to me. I knew I recognized his voice from before. Still, his tone is pretty nonchalant for a kidnapper. I can't help but feel irritated.
きっと私に騙されたと思っているだろうが、お前さんが探偵同盟の一員となったことは真実だよ。
Fair enough.
嘘だと思うのなら、その探偵同盟の一員である証、探偵デバイスで
If this is a trademark thing, then what if someone just makes something similar? Just fooling everyone, basically. I open up the tablet and look through the roster he mentioned. There, I find my profile, beginning with my full legal name.
探偵序列100位北条はと
Detective rank 100.
確
Whoop.
かに
Something popped up, I didn't have time to read that.
それに群青寺先生しか知らないはずの僕の特技や
Also, dude, on Saturday I got a award for winning the chess tournament, right? And I got a trophy and a certificate, but not only that, I also got... Ooh! I'm glad for you. I didn't know that part. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you won it. Congratulations again. Ouch. My special skill is housework. I'm no great detective, sure, but that is a low blow. I wonder what else is on here.
他の探偵たちの序列と探偵ネームも
Oh,
似
new
てる
keyword. Ah, okay, so everything red is basically keyword. Yeah, I didn't think I would get money for real. Yeah, sometimes it just happens. Not to mention intel investigation statuses on recent atrocities. From the latest incident all the way back to before I was born, it is a robust selection of key documents about cases infamous to the public. Far too much for one person to read, frankly. Even at a glance, most of the content seems to be highly technical in nature. This is way too much effort for a prank, meaning that the DA really did recruit me. Can I trust what senior detective says?
僕は本当に探偵同盟の一員になったんですね。信じていいんですか、老子探偵さん。
なお、今流れているのは録音音声だ。緊急事態が起こったので、
I hidden you in the woods to address it.
私は離れることとする。
Fucking love that. Yeah, you will be safe here in the woods, among the wolves and other things that could just gnaw on your bones. Yeah, winning that chess tournament is probably the best thing that happened to me in a while, because I also, which is probably also a lesson for me, because I tried by signing up and trying to win. So maybe if I try more and do more, I could win more. You know? Yeah, absolutely. That is a good way of seeing things. Ah, so that's how it is. I assumed this was a phone call, but I guess that's not the case, so I was right. It was a recording. The device setting must have been configured to play this message. I have finished authenticating.
準備ができ次第、デバイスのマップ機能を使って森を抜け、山の頂上の洋館へと向かうんだ。洋館で待っていれば彼らと合流できるはず。私も必ず後で向かうから待っていてほしい。それから途中で見かける建物には絶対に入るな。
Ooh, fancy. I don't think we ever went to that place in the demo. Also, dude, there's this meme idea that I really want to make, but I can't draw it. You want to hear what it is? Yeah, sure. Tell me. Like, I'm not really the best at knowing memes and stuff, so I probably haven't heard of it, or I have seen it, but don't know what it is. So the detective speaks without pause. The moment he's finished, the sound cuts off abruptly. I stand there in a daze, holding the tablet, my new D-pad, in one hand. I lift my head and peer through the tree line, making out the shape of a mountain with an imposing banner resting on its summit. Is that the building scene the detective was referring to? While I don't truly trust him, my options are limited. Pressing for choice, I open the map application on my tablet. Various graphics appears on the screen, displaying the surrounding area. So apparently this place is called Morgue. Ugh, that's not a good place. I want to make like a meme image of you, maybe just posing for a background. And the caption just, when you're When your D is so big, your VTuber avatar picks up on it, and just starts calling you the to Jesus. If you want to, then try to do it. Absolutely. I am probably too tired to understand even half of that. All that blue surrounding everything must be the ocean, which means I have been taken to a remote island.
モルグっていうのはこの島の名前か聞いたこともないけど
You know what? Well, maybe I will.
全然
Yeah,
別
absolutely. Either way, getting all gloomy won't solve things. I use my finger to zoom in on the map, hoping to find more info to go off. So we basically have lab, which I'm not allowed to go into. Like, I don't know why, but I think I had this thought when I basically played the demo, that the lab is actually where the kid came from or something, when he escaped. Because as what happened, you don't remember what happened afterwards, just that he's alive. So I just get, like, for some reason, I'm not allowed to go in there. I'm not allowed to do, like, that's just off limits. It's called lab. I don't know, for some reason I just feel like it has something to do with him, his past basically. Just as senior detective said, there seems to be some sort of manor at top of the peak, plus another structure near the tree line. Without any other clues to guide me, I decided to follow senior detective's instructions for now.
探偵ネームって自分でデバイスに登録するのかどうしよう僕には特技なんてないしかといって
Ah yeah, the alias. That's basically why the other guy is called senior detective. Man, I really wish Psycho ends up being alright by the end and not be a murderous monster or have a tragic end. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. There are games that basically has shit like that. I think I played a game that sort of had something like that. That it basically ended up with, like... I didn't like the ending. It was kind of stupid, to be honest. And at the same time, there was a way to get a true ending by doing extra stuff. But I did not know that. But to be honest, the true ending wasn't really that much different. The tablet hums quietly as I trek on, before long I see parting in the trees. Still had the sniffles a bit. A massive heliport stretches before me. To its right sits a relatively small 3-story building. Though it blocks my line of sight, I assume that manor is just up ahead at the top of the hill. The structure here must be the one senior detective warned me against entering. It's not like I really trust the guy, so I'm admittedly a bit curious to sneak a peek inside. But as soon as the thought crossed my mind, a sudden sense of unease washed over me. On my tablet, I see numerous circle icons displayed with the building walls. The worst part is that they don't have the same... Oh, hold on. My nose is kind of like stuffed right now, so for some reason it like feels like it blocks while I'm like speak. But yeah, like the dots doesn't look as red as he, so my mind just goes directly to, oh, they all are dead. It's just basically a pile of people. And not just a handful either. Dozens of icons crowd around like ants swarming over food. Judging by my own marker on a map, I think those icons are all people. But if that's the case, what does this mean? My apprehension refused to die down. I get the sense that going in there would end only any regret, just as senior detective had warned. I need to decide my next step carefully. But dude, I'm gonna be honest, my head has been hurting lately, mostly because the overthinking about stuff. I probably don't have control over. I understand completely what you talk about. I think that most of my head stuff comes from my jaw just clenching for my tooth stuff going on. But I do understand the feeling, because that is basically like how I feel. You know what, we're gonna enter the building. Well, hold on, let's do this first. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have a way to... Forget, enter the building. No doubt about it. I got to check this building out first. It'd be risky to just blindly trust in the detective after all. These circle icons are obviously people, which would indicate others already here. It makes a lot of more sense to meet with them instead of wandering around on my own.
老子探偵は僕を他の誰かと交流させない気なんだ。きっとそうに決まってる。
I speak aloud, desperately trying to calm my frantic heartbeat. With a great trepidation, I slowly approach the entrance. A dark shadow is faintly visible from the glass door of the building, just as I had suspected. There are other peoples here. Without a moment's hesitation, I push the glass door open and rush
すみませ
inside.
ん。僕探偵同盟の新人なんですけど。
My voice hitches and my eyes widens like saucers as my train of thought comes to a grinding halt. All from the shock of seeing the horrific scene that lay before me. I was right, it's a lie, it's a pile of people. I don't know if this is like the home base for the Detective Alliance, or if we are here to actually fix a case, but like having this over there, which might be like the main base, yeah, that's like trouble. A large mound rests on the open space beyond the entryway. A haphazard pile, blackened and dead, reeking of rotten cheese and fetid garbage. Convincing myself that it is fake, I draw closer. Then, I lock eyes with one. His cloudy gaze, a stark reminder of our shared mortality. Also, nice song. It's heartbreaking clear this corpse once belonged to a living being. My stomach lurches, its contents spilling from my mouth. Jesus, that's a way of being graphic about it. I can't take it. Sinking to my knees, I suck in a heavy breath as my heart hammers so hard it threatens to burst. Senior detective must have known. Regret fills me for not heeding his warning. I want to run, break away and leave this place forever. I desperately focus all my energy into every lungful of air I can take. But my pulse won't slow down, in fact it keeps getting faster. My chest bursts like it's on fire. Why do I get the feeling it's actually gas in here? And that's why I was not supposed to open it. The more I try to inhale, my chest only aches more and more until finally I can no longer breathe. Oh, I guess I died. My instincts tell me I got to get outside, but my limbs are numb from the lack of oxygen. Heavy and useless as I'm deep underwater. I crawled, inching along like a caterpillar, but the exit is too far away. A feeling of doom overwhelms me and my strength ebbs away. I can't breathe. I need air. I can't take any more of this. Please help me. Desperate, I try to scream but can't muster a sound. The pain is agonizing, all thoughts leave my head. Despite knowing no one will save me, the mind still cries out. I think I just killed myself in this game. Something snaps, my vision fails, but at least the pain in my chest is finally gone. Okay, I don't know if I ever did that when I played this game before. Whoa. Huh? With a start, I see the heliport stretching before me once more. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. The air tastes good somehow, not sure why, but I feel like I just woke up from a nightmare. Am I gonna have some sort of quote-unquote clairvoyance thing that even if I get a game over and die in this game, I basically go back to him and was like, huh, this is what happened. Right, I was deciding whether I should check out that building or head to the manor. Head to the peak or investigate the building. I need to start calmly, think rationally, and make the right choice here. Because it didn't freak out like that when we basically saw this. I decided to do as Senior Detective suggested and make my way towards the manor at the peak of the mountain. My mentor always sided me for being so rushed. Maybe I wouldn't have been abducted if I had just waited for him like I was supposed to. And it ended up being a premonition. That'd be sick. Yeah, because I'm pretty certain when we did like the choice of opening up the door or not, he felt dread. But not in the same way that we felt now, like, oh, like, as you said, the breath of smell, like, the fresh air basically, like, tasted better, like, it felt much better. So I feel like it might just be in a premonition somehow. What's more, I get this deep feeling of dread whenever I look at that building to the right of the heliport. I should follow Senior Detective advice, especially considering that he must have a way better grasp on the situation than me. I'm making my way up the mountain, quietly grumbling to myself when suddenly a chill rolled down my spine. I quickly turn around to look behind me. But the only thing in sight is that building. I get a strange feeling that going there would have had irrevocable consequences for me. My uneasiness lingers, but I turn my back and keep going in spite of it. Yes, I guess I might have some sort of like premonition thing. Somehow. Either like the mystic kind of premonition, that it is like I have the ability to do it, or it might be like Urban Myth Dissolution Center, that my clairvoyance was nothing more than a calculation of what actually happened. I continued up the twist mountain path for 15 minutes until at last I arrived at the manor door. It was gentle incline, but I'm still spent. Wearily take a seat, resting my back against the outside wall of the manor. It's the exact kind of setting you expect in a mystery novel. The manor exterior speaks to its age and smells faintly of lumber. During my approach, I could only gasp at the structure's imposing beauty. Upon closer inspection, I noticed its windows are constructed from an unusual thick glass, impossible to break or peek through. I stand up and circle the perimeter, but there don't seem to appear any points of entry aside from the front door. If anything, it seems like it was built to house prisoners, not residents. This definitely isn't your average manor. What on earth could be waiting within? I slow down and catch my breath. My hand is damp with a sweat as I turn the knob on the manor's only entrance, and a loud clank rings out and swings open with ease. Man, murder always gotta have some supernatural stuff happening. Whether it's time travel, clairvoyance, or other. Where's my Danganronpa type game at for? Fair enough. Interior seems normal enough. At the same time you say that, but the second game was like absolutely weird as hell. Interior seems normal enough. Am I just overthinking? Oh right, his book. I ask weakly as I take a step inside. As soon as I let go of the knob, the door closes on its own. Not one moment later, a sharp pain suddenly erupts in my head, causing me to stagger and want to tell something. A shadow on my feet expands rapidly. My span tingles as I feel something rush quickly towards me. Without even a moment of hesitation, I quick out and leap to the side. However, something slams hard against the back of my skull. The impact sends me flying. My vision swims, my mind already fading. It was VR, not supernatural, so my point still stands. Yeah, you are actually correct. In that sense, you are absolutely correct. Something slams hard against the back of my... Okay, yeah. I find myself unable to stand. Then the world fades to white. Game over.
おいおい、こいつ全然起きねえぞ。一発蹴りでもかますか？ヤマトさん、乱暴はやめようよ。
I hear voices nearby.
飛脚パイセンに賛成。暴力とかマジないっしょ。水ぶっかけるくらいでよくね？
渋谷さんも大概過激だな。ここは冷静にね。
もしや心肺が止まっているのではないか。我が速やかに心臓マッサージを。
その必要はありません。どうやら目を覚ましたよう
I do love the just like standing looking over me here. I don't know who downtown is. I think the one to the far left is downtown. Rowdy is the one closest to the left there. I open my eyes, but my vision is blurred. The dizzy pain in my head is unbearable. There's a constant ringing in my ears. Or I might not have clairvoyance. I might just have a way of like knowing about dangers. Because I got the same like feeling in game here as when when I passed the building. A wave of nausea comes over me, but I manage to stop myself from groaning. I vaguely recalling being hit by something the moment I stepped into the manor. At last, my vision finally clears up. When my eyes refocus, I'm met with several unfamiliar faces and a sturdy rope binding me. I'm tied up, surrounded by a group of strangers. What in the world is going on? A girl in a sports jacket grabs me by the throat, glowering menacingly. She looks to be in her early teens, but her strength is incredible. I can't get a peep out while trapped in her iron grip. Yeah, so everyone doesn't have a name. They have a call-out name, basically. For example, the other guy was called the senior detective. Basically, his name is Senior. Rather than clairvoyance, it's just him overthinking about what could happen if it goes or does something. Yeah, fair enough. Calm down. Oh, he just spoke. A realization of like, what? The girl in the sports jacket lets me go, then immediately falls to her knees, touching her head on the floor as she apologizes. I can definitely understand why she's called Rowdy.
そんなことしませんよ。というか縛られてるのでできません。顔を上げてください。実は僕も状況が全然わからなくて混乱してるんです。皆さんは何なんですか？それに
As I ask the so-called Rowdy detective my questions, the boy in the wheelchair approaches us. Yeah, and their name is Tiki Detective. I like the art style a bit of this game, to be honest. It is good. The character designs. Yes, it's not just gonna be talking, but it's kinda, sort of, in a way, of Digimon Survive, where there is a lot of talking going on. But there are like gameplay stuff for doing when looking for clues. I don't know how often, because it was only one in the demo. So I can't say if it's gonna be like a lot of speaking and then some detective work.
連れてくるなんて何か違和感がある。このお兄さんは僕らとの立ち位置が違うのか。八崎法事件の捜査にどう関係があるの。おい、科学探偵ってばよ。ごめんなさい。ちょっと考え込んでしまって。
Rather detective pokes techie detective, snapping out of his trance. He dips his head in apology. I'm as confused as ever right now, but I have heard of these two detectives before. Not fully, no. It actually is kinda like Digimon Survive completely. It is not fully turn-based, but I remember you actually... Oh. I know how the hell I did this. No, I don't want to load. I can save though. So... yeah, sorry about that. It's just me moving around trying to find a comfortable way to sit, because right now I don't really have the most comfortable way to sit. But not fully Ace Attorney like that. It is... you basically have to give these people commands, walk around the room as a little grid-based game, and then you're just gonna have to do stuff. Oh, you are downtown. Okay, apparently she wasn't in the image before. Yeah, it's alright. I just like how it's just shaking and something's flying into the upper left corner. I don't know why that's happening. The trendy girl responds with indignation, causing the frail boy to tear up. Nevertheless, he doesn't back down. Yeah, I think they're talking about the poison that we technically died of before. It's not the easiest to find a comfortable way to sit right now. No, that wasn't really comfortable either. Can I sit like this? Perhaps, I don't know. Alright, anti-detective. Even though her idea got rejected, the trendy girl called the downtown detective laughed as if nothing happened. No, doleful detective, okay. Rank 14, huh? I think it's just a handful of detectives here, but we are in rank 100. We're not really close to these people. I do love that they know about this and no one told me. They just told me stay away. I'm kind of annoyed with I can't really sit comfortably right now. If I sit kind of comfortably, my feet are just gonna get cold. Also, all the cords around here as well. Kinda annoys me. There we go. The somewhat androgynous youth speaks with a voice full of fear. Victims, like those in the research facility. The comment catches my attention, but now is not the time to be asking questions. Instead, I hold my tongue and continue to watch in silence.
心配無用だぞ飛脚探偵殿
I completely forgot. Like, I knew that I would have had an armored detective, but I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a woman for some reason. Yeah, doesn't matter. I just completely misremembered for some reason. The armored man rested one hand on the youth he called Doleful Detective, and the other on Downtown Detective.
ありがとうございます武装さん僕は運動がからきしなのですごく頼もしいです
The boy smiles at Armored Detective. Downtown Detective waves off the gauntlet, looking utterly repulsed.
うちは結構です暑苦しさやばいんで秒で離れてもらえます序列32位の武装探偵さん
おお我の序列を覚えてくれているのかこのメンバーで唯一の30位以下だというのに我は感動したぞ
Okay, so everyone here is basically a higher rank than 30. Except for his. Well, except mine as well, I'm 100. So if she basically goes beyond rank, like rank is a certain respect for her, I'm guessing we are not really gonna be respected at all. Either that or she just doesn't like him. Also, is his mask actually changing the eyes just to show if he actually is happy and stuff? Armored Detective happily strides closer to Downtown Detective. He doesn't seem to notice a look of genuine disgust on her face.
ひとまず探偵デバイスでリーダーに連絡を取ってみたよ探偵デバイス同士の通信ならこの洋館からでも研究棟に通じるみたいで助かったね
A man who looks like a corporate employee joins the conversation. He holds a familiar tablet-like device in his hand, a D-pad, the trademark for the Detective Alliance. My heart beats fast in spite of myself as I guess at the nature of my company. Workaholic detective, good lord.
ほうれん草は社会人の基本なんてねそちらの眠り姫についてリーダーに確認も取ってみたけどどうやら彼も私たち探偵同盟の仲間だそうだよ念のため君自身にも聞くけど間違いないよね
はい間違いありませんまだ探偵デバイスを受け取ったばかりの新人です
Yeah, we basically just got it some time ago. I would say an hour ago, I guess. Everything clicks into place as I speak with a man referred to as Workaholic Detective. I knew it. They're all part of the Alliance. And those aren't just the average numbers. They're so famous, even nobody like me knows of them. I think I read that wrong, but doesn't matter. There could only be one possible reason why a group of detectives like this would be gathering here. It was the same thing I had brought for. Discuss how to handle the courtroom duke. They're all here for that meeting, no doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna head out for a second. I'm gonna go home. Oh, wonderful. Have a good trip home.
残る謎はまだ探偵ネームも持たない新人がどうしてこの探偵同盟本部にいるのかという点だね君も八つ崎港対策会議に招集されたのかい
Yes, we were invited actually, for some reason.
はい老子探偵から説明を受けて自分の探偵デバイスもありますよ
胸ポケットに入っていたデバイスはやはり君自身のものだったんだね悪いけど勝手に体を調べさせてもらったよ
Fair enough.
いつの間に
Probably when you were passed out. I don't know, but Workaholic Detective is clearly holding my device. The fact that he could swipe it without my noticing is terrifying.
それでは少々お手を拝借
Workaholic Detective grabs my hand to bypass the D-pad's fingerprint authentication. Navigate into the message application with a practiced ease. He seemed to be checking my invitation to the Gordon and Duke meeting, which I had been reading just before I fell unconscious.
なるほど 私に届いた連絡と一字一句違わない。確かに君もこの対策会議のメンバー。
I can absolutely understand them being like cautious about stuff. Relief washed through me as the workaholic detective smile, but it doesn't last long.
まあこの島に潜入できるほどのものならメールの偽造なんて簡単に行えるだろうけど。
Workaholic detective's smile turns grim. His piercing gaze cuts right through me, making my body flare up with goosebumps.
下手なまでしでかすんじゃねえぞ。サンズの川の対岸まで殴り飛ばされたくなきゃな。
他の探偵さんたちのような独自の気配は君からは一切
Fair enough, actually.
一体な結論を出すには検討材料が不足しすぎています。
Fair enough, everyone here has a quirk or looks a specific way or acts a specific way, and I'm just here. The other detective watch me warily. Their eyes make it abundantly clear that they're on high alert. I completely understand why they suspect my exceptional circumstances, but that doesn't make their looks sting any less. Dwelling on the doleful detective's unsettling remarks earlier led me to wonder what happened to the Detective Alliance.
まあさ、怪しんでばかりじゃ拉致が開かないし、鳥間うちらに同行させりゃいいんじゃね？老子のじっちゃんも見つけなきゃだしさ、言い争ってる暇とかないっしょ。
気が合うな、渋谷探偵殿。我も同意見である。証拠が出るまでは彼も仲間の一員でよかろう。
あんたと同意見なのは点下げなんだけど、うち頭悪いからさ、武装ちゃんの言う通り、その人も一緒に連れてっていい
Yeah,
と思う。
his mask actually does change. Also, why does it only have like eyes on one side? If they have actually two eyes that works, that must be very bad for his
ミステリモノ
eyesight.
で仲間割れとか死亡フラグだしね。ミステリモノって。
まあ渋谷の言う通りだな。
Rather detective tears my restraints apart as if they were made of paper. Jesus. I cannot move freely, except for my bound hands. But still, with raw physical strength, it's hard to believe the girl is smaller than me could be so powerful.
仲間同士で疑い合ってたら八つ咲公の思うツボだ。俺もひとまずあんたを信じることにするぜ。
行動の前に一言確認を取ってほしかったところだけど、私も同意見だよ。先ほど体を調べた
Yeah, we have the email, which is said we could fake. We have the D-pad, which needs my authentication. The only problem is like we don't have a name in a sense, but at the same time we basically has been in a locker. I guess we were in the locker in a forest, so no one would find me. In case, because the whole lab is basically full of dead people, so I guess they could have done something with me if they just found me.
ありがとうございます。
So I guess it was just safety precautions. I've seen plenty of suspects get interrogated in mystery novels as shows, but never did I ever expect to be the one in the hot seat. Life sure keeps you on your toes.
そういえば、侵入者さんのことをなんて呼べばいい？まだ探偵ネームないんでしょ？せっかくだし。
僕の名前は
I barely stopped myself from answering Downtown Detective with my real name. Keep your name secret is the first rule of the Detective Alliance. It could be deadly for your identity to get out between cases. That's why upon joining the DA members are given a one-word codename based on defining characteristic of theirs. That codename is known as a Detective alias. I've longed to have one on my own ever since Gunjoji told me about them.
僕の探偵ネームは
Are we gonna choose our own? Despite my journey for one, it's hard to think of anything on the spot. I've had no experience, skills, or defining characteristic. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't even begin guessing why I was let into the Detective Alliance.
いや、悩みすぎっしょ。君さ、見た感じうちより年上っぽいのに、なんでそんなに余裕ないわけ？
How young
人
are
生
some
の先
people
輩が
here?
そこまで情けないと。
She is younger than we are, and I'm pretty certain we could still go to school and stuff. So I guess we're under like around 20 and younger at least. I say 20 younger. It might be like 19, 18. But for her to be a high rank detective, I like. Yeah, we be older.
面目ないです。
ほら、一緒に考えようよ。特技は何？今までの
Please
事
do
件
not
で
look
得意
at
だ
my
と感じた
skill
ことな
thing.
いわけ？
I think it said, what was it saying? Like homework or something?
猫を探すのが得意でした。なぜか好かれるので。
The cat detective. Oh, yeah, fucking brilliant. Downtown detective gives a deep sigh. My amateur status fills me with shame.
じゃあ、無能探偵ってことでよろしく。
Oh, Jesus Christ.
ええ
Oh, I'm actually now called incompetent. Oh, that's... Now that's just cruel. You might as well be saying I'm good for nothing. I mean, not that isn't true, but still. I'd obviously prefer a different name. But before I can object...
他のみんなもいい名前が決まるまでは無能探偵って呼ぶ感じでおなしゃす。
Like, to be fair, she's saying in a way that we don't have an alias yet, and it's like blank alias. So I can understand the logic of this, but just calling us that is like Jesus. That is rough.
ヤマト男児らしい謙虚な名前だな。好感が持てるぜ。
飛脚探偵さんや社畜探偵さんと同じく特徴をカリカチュアしたタイプの名前なんですね。一緒に頑張ろうね、無能くん。
Jesus.
呼び名があると
Oh,
素晴らしさが
their eye changed place.
よろしく頼むぞ、無能殿。
このゴリ押しな空気、自分の時を思い出すな。
He looks like he's been through some shit. Incompetent detective rapidly gains the approval of the rest, so rapidly that it's too late to dispute it. Much to my chagrin? I don't know.
秒で定着してよかったね。無能
Look how fast your new name oh, yeah.
全然良くない。
Despite my protests, Downtown Detective ignores me, flashing a devilish smile. Thus did I become incompetent detective, an official member of the Detective Alliance. That is so wrong. That is so wrong. Bright red carpet covers the floor, and landscape painting adorn the walls of the corridor. Detectives explain the situation as we walk down the passage, the scent of the roses on display around us drifting in the air.
君が連れてこられたこの場所は地図にすら載っていないことだ。この絶海のことを本拠地として探偵同盟は活動を続けてきたそうだよ。本部の2つの建物、捜査の補助や機器の開発を行うための
Wow, it definitely doesn't have much. I love it has a road that goes beyond the laboratory, but it doesn't lead to anything. And I think the only way to get here is helicopter for the reason of the helipad.
本来私たちが到着した後は
No, wait, actually, I can see it. I can hold on, give me a second. There we go. There is actually a harbor place there. So one of the roads does lead to the pier, basically.
だったというのは。
The radar detective suddenly punches the wall beside her, causing the others nearby walls to tremble from the impact.
俺たちが到着した時には 本部の探偵たちの多くが毒殺されてたんだよ。
Oh, you mean the lab?
研究施設にいた22人のメンバーが全員な。
22人が全員
We know of that. We went in there. We died. Every hair on my body stands on end at the unthinkable news. Even among history, more famous mass murder, few had a death toll more than 20. Killing 22 people at once is beyond all reason.
犯人はまるでゴミでも扱うがごとく施設の入り口に我らの仲間の死体を積み重ねていたのだ。人間の所業と
無能先輩があの死体の山を見てたらしばらくご飯を食べれなかったと思うよ。それに毒ガスが充満してて下手したら死んでたしね。行かなくてラッキーだったかもね。
Nah, I did get in there, and that's why I have the premonition of not needing to go in there. A heap of corpses, just imagining it makes me feel faint. That's not even taking the deadly gas in account.
老子探偵はその惨状を知っていて僕をこの館に向かわせたのかもしれないな。
That would also explain why he hid me in the forest and went off on his own. I need to find him as soon and thank him for keeping me safe.
やっぱり八つ崎港の犯行なんですか。
それはまだ何とも。あれだけ大量の殺人にもかかわらず手がかりとなる品が少なすぎるんです。
八つ崎港事件の特徴は必ず被害者が2人同時に現れることだ。今回の犯行は少し毛色が異なる。
Yeah, fair enough. It was what is it? Times... No, not even times 10. Times 11? Yeah. Yeah, it would be times 11.
八つ崎港の野郎が犯人に決まってるぜ。もしまだ
Jesus, sorry, I'm just gonna move my phone because I can hear the vibrations. I'm pretty certain it's all of these things I was talking about before, which, not gonna lie, this weekend was painful, and even yesterday, because I was basically breaking down. Sorry, I just felt my phone vibrate, and I know exactly where it comes from, and it's kinda, not gonna lie, irritates me a lot right now. He said that the Courting Duke has killed over 100 people, but even that was over the course of half a year. On the other hand, murdering 22 people at once, all of the first-rate detectives, no less, would hardly be work of an amateur. I get the impression that he commits grisly deeds for the thrill of it, but otherwise his identity is completely mystery.
僕らは当然研究施設の捜査を始めたのですが、その途中でリーダーのデバイスに生き残った同盟のメンバーからこんな連絡が入ったんです。
Take a detective draws out his own D-pad and plays an audio file.
ロースタン研究と何者か襲撃全滅した。私オーメンガーストに隠れているリーダー。
Yeah, this place was called Gormgast. Although the sound was low and full of static, even I couldn't grasp the significance.
この声って老子探偵ですよね。よかった。あの人は生きていたんですね。
はい、間違いなく老子探偵だと思います。この状況で無事だなんて、さすがはレジェンドクラスの探偵です。
Is he like number one or something?
そんなにすごい探偵なんですか。
今でもメディアでよく取り上げられる明けの夜事件ってあるでしょ。
Can I like look at these things? Oh, lexicon.
創立メンバーなんだって。
Dayless Night, the popular name of a series of incidents caused by the Morning Star of Dawn Society, which is the public support and sect's founder Ingenious, who went by the name Lucifer, targeted opponent by kidnapping, by torture, brainwashing them. He also believed that he carried out a number of human experiments through the buildings. Okay, just checking some stuff.
明けの夜事件。教科書にも載ってるような大事件じゃないですか。
I was a kid then, so I don't remember much. It was the worst terror attack in national history, sparked by the new religious movement. From that event onwards, criminal atrocities swept the nation, which is part of why the Detective Alliance was formed. Solving a case of that magnitude would absolutely qualify him as a legend.
もともとは老師さんと合流するために他の探偵たちと別れて僕らはこの洋館に来たんだ。
老子殿が身を隠さなければならぬほど今回の犯人は凶悪なのだ。一刻も早く助け出さねば。
Probably.
ここにいる皆さん以外にも探偵がいるんですか？
そう、研究棟に残って捜査を続けているのが6人かな。まるで探偵のバーゲンセールだなって感じで草生えるよね。
Jesus. I don't quite get what she means by that, but I guess it's a lot of detectives. I'm still reeling from the heinous murders we have yet to unravel, but at least know there's a glimmer of hope.
これで全ての部屋を探し終えたはずだけど、老師さんは見つからないね。
もしかしたら僕らより先に洋館へたどり着いた犯人に気づいてどこかへ逃げたのではないでしょうか。もし先ほどの通話を盗聴されていたら犯人が先回りした可能性は十分に考えられます。
あーね。
I don't remember if we find him or not. I don't know if that was the demo or what was going on.
考えられなくはないのかも。
いや、研究所からこの洋館までは一本道で周囲は断崖絶壁。僕らに見つからずに逃げ出すのは無理だよ。
Detectives process the situation with impressive speed. I'm barely keeping up as I struggle to understand what it all means. Download casual chit-chat is about the only thing that makes any sense to me.
つか、この部屋も無線 LAN ないじゃん。スマホ使えないとか、マジでナイポヨちゃんなんですけど。
いえ、仮に無線 LAN のルーターがあったとしても使えないと思いますよ。
なんで？この島は県外ってこと？
いえ、実は研究棟で固定回線でのネットワーク接続を試してみたのですが、
Fair enough.
先ほど洋館内の回線で試してみても結果は同じでした。おそらく島の
So you can only contact within the on the island itself.
でも探偵デバイス同士はやり取りできてんじゃん。スマホとは違うの？
探偵デバイスは独自の通信システムを採用しているんです。僕も開発に携わりましたが、本当に
That's why it's called the Tech
使われてい
Detective.
るんですよ。詳しく説明するとですね。
Oops, I pressed the wrong button.
はいはい。まあつまりうちはこの島にいる間連れたちとろくに会話もできないってことね。下がるわ。
いい機会だ。この機会に探偵同士、我らみんなの交友を深めようではないか。
Fair enough.
ガチで下がるわ。
おいおい、まさかこの匂いは。
Brad Detective starts crawling on all floors like a dog, right at the entrance of the room. She presses her face up to the carpet with a sharp expression on her face.
ヤマトさん、どうしたんですか？
血の匂いだ。
Damn, you're like a bloodhound. Literally. Silence fills the room. The others all turn to look at Rowdy.
バラの匂いと絨毯の色で全然気づかなかったが、この絨毯、血痕がついてやがるぜ。入り口からまっすぐにあの花瓶に向か。
Oh, damn, that was weird. Apparently I pressed while they were doing stuff. Red Detective approaches at an empty vase and sticks her hand in it, pulling out a bloody knife.
ビンゴだな。誰の血だかは知らねえが、
どうやら悪意ある誰かさんが館に侵入したことは間違いないようだぜ。
どうして血の匂いなんて分かったんですか？見るからに乾ききってるのに。
俺はガキの頃から漁師の親父を手伝ってたからな。猟犬の嗅覚、わしの視覚、ウサギ並みの聴覚、そして
Well, he seems to enjoy it at least. What else can I say? I'm not so convinced that helping hunting trips would give you those kind of abilities, but it's astonishing nonetheless.
岩松さん、そのナイフが使われた場所はこの部屋ではないんだよね。
ああ、この部屋には血痕しか残ってねえ。あくまでナイフを隠すのに部屋までやってきただけみてえだ。血の匂いを終えたらいいんだけどよ。さすがにバラの匂いが充満した廊下じゃきつすぎるぜ。
やはりそうか。しかし科学君、君ならば終えるね。
What, you have like a blood
もちろ
detector?
んです。そのための科学ですから。
That detective proudly pulls a cute little machine that resembles a puppy out from his pocket.
追跡遊具くんくんくん。
Okay,
僕
fair
と
enough.
探偵同盟の協力で生み出されたこの遊具は登録した匂いをどこまでも追跡発見可能な人命救助を至上命令とする発明です。さらに南西の小型ゴムクローラーを採用したことで凹凸の激しい通路であろうとも現場を荒らさず時速 15km で迅速な移動が可能。当然小型の発信機も搭載なので探偵デバイスの画面からリアルタイムに追跡可能です。そしてさらに ISS も宇宙ステーションに採用されている。
Jesus.
大したものだね。後で
Also,
ゆっくりと説明を
everyone, we're gonna have an
聞くから
ad in about 5 minutes. And yeah, it has been a lot of talking in this game. As I said, I guess it's a lot of talking with this, and I knew it was gonna be. But there is also like the gameplay mechanics of this game, but it's much later on. Right now they're just trying to do all the beginning part of this game, basically, explaining what's going on.
じゃあ早速その道具で。
道具じゃないです。遊具です。僕の大切な友達を道具扱いしないでください。
Regarding Detective bows several times in apology for misspeaking. True to his name, he is a very picture of a harried office worker. Tech Detective may seem calm and collected, but careless remarks about his adventures are a clear sore spot of his. I'd better watch my words.
皆さん、取り乱して申し訳ありません。それでは血液の匂いの追跡を始めます。
Tech Detective calms down, setting his dog-like tracking mechanism, sniffing with a loose near the bloodstain. With his scoots across the floor just like a real dog. He scurries around a couple of times, then thumps onto the room's door.
追跡が始まりました。扉を開いて先に進んでもらいましょう。
I'm just waiting for this thing to just rush over the goddamn stairway, just flying. I open the door and Sniffy Whiffy darts out of the room, barreling down the hall towards the stairs. All I can pick up is roses, but he must have a trail of blood.
大したもんだな。俺の鼻でも全然嗅ぎ取れねえってのによ。
正確には匂いではなく空気中に残留する物質を追跡しているんです。だから他の匂いが漂う場所であっても惑わされず、
Yeah, that's fair enough.
可能なんですよ。
猟犬の鼻も型なしだね。
うるせえ。最初に気づいたのは俺の鼻だろうが。
Sniffy Whiffy stop at the painting just before the stairs to the entrance hall.
クンクン殿が止まった。ここで何者かが刺されたということか。
バーカ、見るからに血痕なんてないじゃん。つまりナイフが使われた場所はこの絵画の奥ってことだっつうの。
絵画の奥？どういうことなのだ？
Secret passage. Ooh.
まさか絵画の中に世界が？
童話の中の話かとバカに思っていたが、実在するとは。落ち着いて武装君。論理的に考えていけば真実は明らかになる。
Oh, I do apologize, still tired. Workaholic touches the painting as he inspects the frame. He then gently taps the artwork before pressing his ear against it.
間違いない。この絵画の奥には空洞が広がっている。ならおそらくここをこうして。
Still touching the painting, Workaholic Detective moves his hand. The entire wall around it slips back like a sliding door, revealing a hidden passage. I like... This is their base of operation. How did they not know about this? Maybe Wiffy, who had been waiting in place, begins to move again, right down the newly discovered path.
今ので分かったんですか？一体どうやって？
それは企業秘密ってことで、私はこの仕事を続けて長いからね。知識量だけはそれなりにあるんだ。
おじさんやるじゃん。ぶっちゃけ見直したっつうか、むしろリスペクっちゃうみたいな。
おじさんは勘弁してほしいな。私まだ一応20代だからね。
Fair enough. Workaholic Detective turns red in the face as the downtown detective slaps him on the behind. On the behind, do you mean the back or the ass? The behind can mean two things.
おい待てって。この広さなら2人並べるだろ。俺も先頭に立って周りを注意するぜ。
Now the detective tries to push forward, but it's stopped by the doleful detective.
ヤマトさんは科学くん、渋谷さんと通路の入り口を見張っておいてくれないかな。今の状況なら僕の能力が役に立つと思うから。
Armor and doleful detective are to spearhead or foray into the secret passage, with me and Workaholic Detective following after. Rowdy Downtown and Techie Detective would remain at the entryway, acting as a lookout in case of a tunnel is a trap. As for why I'm being brought along, it's probably because I won't be able to escape in this tunnel. I'm struck by the fact that Workaholic, the most experienced of the group, had deftly assumed a position beside me. This detective don't miss a single beat.
じゃあ、僕と武装さんで先導していくね。
As I speak, doleful and armored detective enters the tunnel together. Workaholic and I continue right behind them. The four of us descend down a spiral staircase that winds its way underground. At the bottom is a gloomy underground tunnel. We proceed into it using the light function on our D-pad to guide our way. The only sounds are our footfalls echoing in the tunnel, as well as Sniffy Wiffy's threads crawling across the floor ahead of us. The air is dusty, reeks of mold, making it hard to breathe. Clearly this place is seldom used. My love of cleanliness aches to ventilate the place. Doleful Detective's eyes narrow as he travels the tunnel. His usual fearful consciousness is tense, as if he is an entirely different person. Workaholic Detective whispers to me, as if he's reading my mind.
彼の序列は14位。すでに100件以上の事件を解決に導いている。くぐり抜けてきた修羅場の数は、私たちベテランの探偵にも決して引きを取らないよ。
Over 100 cases solved. The idea alone leaves me speechless. We can't be that far apart in age, and yet his track records is on a whole other level. What sort of heroic life has this seemingly gentle boy led up to now?
さっき飛躍さんが言って 力というのは。
じきに君も身をもって知るさ。同盟内では彼の能力を名探偵体質と呼んでいる。
Yeah, that doesn't really mean much to me. I have no idea. Awful detective stops in his tracks.
武装さん、止まってください。
どうしたのだ、飛躍殿。足から血が出ているぞ。
Armory shines his D-pad light on the doleful detective's leg, revealing a trail of blood beneath his knee. Something reflects in the light just ahead of them.
足元に何かが。
おそらく侵入者撃退用の罠だよ。触れた感触だとワイヤーか何かだと思う。
So it's basically razor wire. It's right. When I get close to the reflection, I see red dripping of an extremely fine wire. It was so razor thin and difficult to see that, were it not for the blood, it would be nearly imperceivable, even in direct light.
探偵同盟で開発中のワイヤー層か。
Why would the detective alliance making a wire saw, especially like that?
どうして透明でそんなものを。
密室の錠前をこじ開けたり、拉致や拘束された。
Okay, that kind of makes sense then.
本来は特殊なグローブをつけて使うものだって聞いているよ。
Understandable.
素手では触らない方がいい。用途が用途なだけに、人体くらいなら強く押し付けるだけで切断可能な切れ味だ。
気づけてよかった。
Workaholic produces a medication and bandage from his pocket and begin apply first aid to Doleful's detective's leg.
ひどい怪我だけど、この程度で済んで良好かもね。君以外が引っかかっていたら、足が切断されていても。
I still have no idea what their like ability fully is.
僕の体質はこんな時くらいしか誰かの役に立ちませんから。
体質って一体どういうことですか。
I kind of forgot what the special skill is. For some reason, Doleful Detective struggles to reply. Workaholic steps in to answer on his behalf.
飛躍君は昔から自分の身を危うくする事象に巡り合いやすいんだよ。例えば今回のような罠から指名手配犯に。
Okay, so a danger magnet. So it's more of if something's gonna happen, it is gonna happen to them, but they don't die from it. It is basically like, oh shit, there's something here.
持ち前の勘と洞察力でそんな過酷な境遇を生き抜いてきたんだ。
だから名探偵体質ですか。
The story's detective are always expected to survive, even when wrapped up in a personal case, and even when their life is on the line. And now I'm standing in front of a real-life detective who embodies that very trope.
そんな大それた力じゃないよ。むしろ周囲を不幸にしてしまう最低の体質だと思う。
Doleful Detective's expression flickers as he touches the bandage on his wrist. The countless trace of medical attention covering his body shows just how much suffering is constantly endured.
だけどその分危険には人一倍敏感なんだ。僕の身に降りかかる脅威の気配なら必ず感じ取ることができる。僕がみんなの盾になってみせるよ。
I would think more of the eyes on the shield. I would say like the armor is better like a shield. As if resolved within the doleful detective's eyes as he speaks. He and I may look similar. I might even be the older one, but nothing in me competes with that look. We couldn't be farther apart. Sorry. Oh. For doubtful, you need a... Oh, I don't need to speak of this. Armored detective abruptly steps forward. He then swings his arm up before bringing it down to chop the wire before us.
武装さん、そのワイヤーは手伝って切れちゃうんですよ。いくら鎧を着ているからって。
心配無用だ。我の身を包むは我が家系のみに言い伝わる史上最高の鎧なり。
Wonderful. The wire parts with ease. Sure enough, my detective doesn't have a single scratch on him. Both Doleful and Workaholic widen their eyes in incredibility.
どのような罠にかかろうとも我の鎧は砕け得ぬ。安心して我を先頭に立たせるといい。
だけど僕が前に出ていた方がチーム全体のリスクは抑えられるし。
仲間が傷つくかもしれぬのを静観してはおれぬさ。お主らの盾となるために我は分不相応を承知でこの場に馳せ参じたのだか
Fair
らな。
enough. Then walk side by side, basically. My detective speaks with a calm as that ease Doleful detective's taunt expression. Despite the latter's brave front, he might have been nearing his limit.
ありがとう武装さん。お言葉に甘えて僕はあなたの後ろから周囲を警戒することにするよ。
My detective takes the lead as Doleful acts as a lookout behind him.
武装さん、すぐ前方、僕の首あたりに脅威の気配を感じます。
またワイヤーだな。承知である。
Without a second thought, Armored Detective swings his hand forward at the area the Doleful Detective indicated. Shop, shop, shop. Sometimes Doleful's warning comes too late and Armor runs into a wire, but even then, it never leaves a mark. We continue safely through the darkness until...
発信機の反応を見るに追跡装置は5メートル前方で停止している。ナイフが使われた現場に到着したみたいだね。
We finally make it to the end of the tunnel with zero injuries, save for Doleful Detective, of course. Sniffy Whiffy is parked right in front of a steel door, which means the bloody knife we found earlier must have been used right behind it.
武装君、申し訳ないが先陣を頼めるかい？
何を言っているのだ、社畜殿。このような危うい状況にて先駆けとなるべく我が鎧は存在している。
And yet, Armored Detective looks tense as he cautiously touches the doorknob. Goosebumps ripple across my body. Deep down I get the overwhelming urge to scream, "Don't open it." It's as if my mind somehow knows that what we're about to see is truly horrifying. I have an extremely bad feeling about this.
3つ数えると同時に開けるのである。1つ、2つ。
The doorknob makes a click as it turns. My heart rate leaps, but I can't bring myself to look away.
3つ。
A blinding light flashes as the door opens, forcing me to avert my eyes. On top of that, a metallic stench envelops me. The way it sticks to my throat makes me cough. However, none of the other detectives shows even a hint of fear as they proceed beyond the door. I hurry to follow them, but at that moment... The awful detective's cry echoes out. As I step into the room, the first thing I see is the ground dyed in crimson. The red spreads across so much of the floor that at first I mistake it for a carpet pattern. There is no way that that's the case. Despite my hateful disbelief, the smell filling the air tells me that this is blood. With each breath, the metallic stench fills my lungs, my stomach, my whole body. I'm assailed by the overwhelming urge to vomit. If I lose focus for even a moment, I know I'll wind up spitting my guts out. Jesus. Upon close inspection, I notice something floating in the ocean of gore. It's a large and reminds me of a caterpillar. 4 other long, thin objects surrounding it. In a way, they resemble like a quartet of lifeboats, all rowing in different directions away from the sinking ship. But in truth, there are human limbs scattered across the floor. Before us is a scene devoid of life. A man whose name I don't know gazes at me, his head half submerged in the in a sanguine sea. My eyes are transfixed as I stand there in a daze. There's a biting chill, as if the temperature has dropped by quite a few degrees. My hands and legs tremble. I can barely stand. Every ounce of strength leaves my body with no longer feels like my own. I muster up all the willpower I can, only to topple over on the spot. Is this just a bad dream?
現場に出くわすのは初めてかい。辛いのはわかるが、目を背けてはいけないよ。
Without any concern to spare for me, Rokolic walks towards the blood pool.
武装君、上に戻って他の3人をここへ呼んできてくれ。それからリーダーへ洋館に向かうよう伝えてほしい。
He sums up the heart of the matter in a low voice.
殺人事件。ローシさんが。
What is interesting with this scene, if you can see that, is there is blood on the roof as well. Regardless of how detached he remains, while objectively staring facts, it doesn't change the reality we're facing. The middle-aged man's corpse lies dismembered, his limbs stretched across the room we stand in, prostruded. For the first time in my life, I am confronted with a murder scene. Chapter 1. The case of the dismembered detective. Damn, now we start chapter 1. As I said, they took a long time, but this was basically to explain the story of everything. I stand in the corner, my mind completely blank. This is my first time witnessing a murder scene in person. Saika's death is seared in my mind, but this is different. Someone I know lies torn to pieces in a vivid sea of blood, dead. I'm not a great detective, and although I try to steel myself, coming face to face with a scene like this has me too weak to stand. Even once I regain my footing, my legs will struggle to remain upright. The metallic stench of fresh blood is one I will never be able to get used to. I breathe through my mouth as much as possible. If I had the choice, I'd sprint out of this room this very second. Rokolic detective ignores me as he investigates the corpse with a meticulous efficiency. He and the victim must have been well acquainted. His pained look when we found the body suggests that his mental burden is far greater than mine. Yet despite that, he shows no sign of weakness. How much experience solving homicides would it take to become a detective like him? I can't even fathom it, the way I am now. The other detectives who had been summoned by doleful detective are unable to hide their shock at the sight.
おいおい、なんだよこりゃ。老子のおやすさんは生き延びてたはずだろ。
うちらが駆けつけるまでに殺されたってわけ？マジ笑えないんですけど。
そんなこと不可能のはずです。同志探偵さんの連絡から僕たちが館にたどり着くまで20分程度。
Yeah.
そんな短時間で人体をここまでバラバラにして凶器を隠して逃げ切るなんて非科学的ですよ。
Doing it with a knife like that.
これほどの出血だから死斑がないのは当然として、死後硬直すらまだ始まっていない。直前に電話ももらっているから当然だが、血液の凝固具合から察するに殺されてから半日も経っていないようだね。
So you're saying that the message we got was basically just recorded?
時系列を整理しよう。ロイスさんから連絡を受けたのが12時40分。そこから私たちは速やかにチーム分けを行い、研究棟からこの洋館への到着時刻は13時ジャスト。私たちが研究棟から洋館へと移動していたこの20分間に犯行は行われ。
先生、質問。うちらが研究棟へ出発する前に犯人がサクッと逃げ出した可能性はないわけ？
それはないよ。私たちはローシさんからの連絡を受けてすぐに洋館へと移動した。
Yep.
もし仮に犯人が洋館の外へ脱出を図っていたなら鉢合わせしていたはず。よって犯人は私たちが到着した際にはまだ洋館内に残っていたに違いないんだ。
この洋館まで続く坂道を駆け下りるにゃ 猟犬並みの脚力を持つ俺だって10分はかかるからな。妥当な線だと思うぜ。
Plus, at the same time, I came up after them, so
ここで重要となるのは犯人が現在も中に残っているかどうかだ。犯人が館から脱出できた時間について
also someone smacked me in the back of the head with something.
エントランスホールで無能君を見つけた私たちはしばらく話し合った後15分後の13時15分に2階へと上がった。
Oh wait, did I come before them?
そしてヤマトさん、科学君のおかげで隠し通路を発見できたのが13時。
Okay, so I entered here before them. So someone was here because he smacked me in the back of the head. Or something
前
happened.
の廊下からは常に洋館のエントランスホールを一望可能だ。私たちがあの場所にたどり着いた時点で気づかれずに脱出することは困難だ。犯人が洋館に潜んでいたなら逃げ出す時間は私たちが2階の探索に集中していた間のわずか20分足らず。犯人はまだ洋館内にいる可能性が高いんだよ。
There at least was when we were here.
20分あれば洋館から抜け出すくらいはできるんじゃ。
外に出るまではできるかもしれませんが、その後が問題です。洋館と研究棟とをつなぐ坂道は一本道で隠れる場所もありません。下っている間に窓から外を見られればおしまいなので現実的では。
Fair enough, actually.
その通りだよ。実際私は窓から外を見るように気をつけていたが怪しい人影は確認できなかった。
ちょい待ち。
Oh, welcome back,
エン
Annie.
トランスホールは誰もい
We
ない
basically found a body now.
脱出し放題じゃん。
なあ、それなら大丈夫。すでにリーダー
We have managed to find a body.
向かっているからね。もし今脱出を図っているとしたら、それこそ山道を降り切る前
Kenny, I'm pretty certain you saw her before you left before.
つまり犯人はまだこの館の中にいるということか。
But yes,
よっし
I think right now there's two here.
ゃ建物の中を徹底的にネズミ狩りだこら。
Ah, fair enough. But yes, it's basically Rowdy and downtown. The other people are guys. Just to make clear, because to be honest,
安全なごまかし
one of them kind of sounds like it's a girl, but it is actually a guy. Rowdy the Rowdy girl, lol. Peak naming, yeah.
無能君。
Also, yeah, we're called incompetent because we don't have an alias.
問題なく犯行が可能なんだよ。
Well, it was Krytos who was caught completely off guard. Me, the killer. How does that make any sense?
単純な話だよ。老師さんをバラバラに切断し、エントランスホールで倒れたふりをするだけなら、我々が到着する。
Yeah, mostly. Like, this guy's workaholic, one is downtown, one is techie, one is armored. But because we don't have an alias nor like a special trait, downtown decided to call us incompetent. So we, for now, until we actually find a better name, is called incompetent
犯人がこ
detective.
の館から逃走できないなら、君が犯人だと考えるほかないんだよ。
何を言ってるんですか。たった20分足らずで人間をバラバラにするなんてできませんよ。それにあの地下通路にはワイヤーが張り巡らされていたじゃないですか。どうやって通ったって言うんですか。
I raised my voice in protest without armor and Dolphol's help. Getting through that passage took 5 minutes. It's hard to imagine anyone like me with no special trait making it through so quickly.
ああ、そこが問題だよ。おそらく何らかのトリックを使ったんだろうね。だけど、私は不可能ではないと思っている。
どういうことですか。
耳を澄ましてごらん。天井から声が聞こえてくるのがわかるだろう。
He's right. If I strain my ears, I can pick up sound coming down from the ceiling. Where are they coming from, though? We should be the only people inside the manor right now.
構造上、この地下室の真上はエントランスホールだ。おそらくリーダーたちが館に到着した音だろう。 この地下室は身を隠すための部屋だろうから、すぐ頭上のエントランスホールの様子が音で把握できるよう床板の隙間を広くして音が響きやすくしているのかもしれないね。
Fair enough. I didn't mention it. My eyes spot gaps in the ceiling where light is filtering through. As workaholic detective said, it must be coming from the entrance hall above us.
ともかくこの地下室とエントランスホールは実質隣り合っている。何らかのトリックを使えば移動時間は大幅に短縮できるんだ。例えばこの地下室の天井とエントランスホールの床板の一部に細工がしてあって、人一人が通れる隙間を作るとかね。
So, man, this is just like Makoto Naegi in a school full of talented people. Didn't know his talent, got called ultimate lucky student because he got lucky his childhood friend didn't feel him, and got accused when said childhood friend died in his room. Yeah, I guess so. Workaholic's relentless reasoning leaves me overwhelmed. Even if there's a gap, there is no way someone my size could fit through it. Still, he's right about one thing. The entrance hall and the basement are awfully close together. How can I possibly clear my name now that we know it's possible to move between them?
ちょっと秒で結論出しすぎじゃね？天井と床を通り抜けできないことの証明とか無理ゲーじゃん。そんな悪魔の証明みたいな無理難題を突きつけて追い詰めるとかマジでなえるんですけど。
渋谷殿の言う通りだ。エントランスホールへと移動したトリックとやらがわからぬ以上、疑うなど論外。
Yeah, I think basically our gameplay starts when we fix the try to figure out what happened here. I don't know how often gameplay mechanics are in this game. I just enjoyed playing the demos. I thought I'm gonna get this game and stream it. But yeah, it might be kinda like playing the Digimon Survive game where there's a lot of talking. Luckily, it's not like going back and forth between talking, menu talking. It is basically just continuation, which is better.
血抜きや皮を剥ぐ必要がないし、狩猟に慣れてるやつなら可能だと思うがな。俺ならやれる自信があるぜ。
じゃあヤマトさんが犯人ってことでいいですね。
自信があるってだけだっつうの。戒律の処理やらで時間が足りねえのは間違いないしな。いや、時間は十分だったんだ。社畜さんはおそらく僕と同じこと。
But yeah, that is doleful. Very, very girlish voice, but it is actually a guy.
君も気づいたようだね。そう、わずかな時間でもバラバラにできるんだよ。隠し通路の罠にも使用された。この
As he speaks, Workaholic holds up a blood-drenched wire. Unpleasant as it is, I'm reminded how easily doleful detective's legs were cut earlier. Basically razor wire. Shihiro. Wait, who was Shihiro again? I'm so bad with certain
も
names.
しかしたら犯人はロースさんから私たちに連絡があった時点であらかじめワイヤーを彼に任せ
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
そうして脅すことで無理やり
Fair enough actually, yeah.
させた後
Now I know.
ワイヤーを引っ張って四肢を切断すればあとは脱出するだけだ。
そのワイヤーはさっき見張り役の皆さんを呼びに行った際に僕が見つけました。偶然血で足が滑っちゃって。
付着した血の量からして先ほど飛躍君が引っかかったワイヤーでないことは明白だ。犯人はおそらく僕らが隠し通路のワイヤーを切断することも見越して隠し通路の床に捨てたんだろうね。いや、むしろ凶器を隠すために犯人自らがワイヤーの罠を設置しておいたのかもしれない。ともかく現状では無能君を犯人
Yeah, when you said that, it reminded me.
何か反論があるなら言ってほしい。
僕はやってません。
I shout on impulse. Regret fills me almost immediately. I'd say the same thing if I was guilty, as would anyone in my shoes.
無能君がやったなんて僕も信じられないよ。だけど信じられないからこそ真実を解き明かさないといけないって思うんだ。
ああ、私も同意見だ。同盟の仲間が犯人だなんて信じたくないが。
Workaholic fixes me with a steely look. I want to speak up, but I don't know what to say. I reached my limit just processing all these theories. There is no room for me to make my own deductions.
おい待てよ。無能の兄さんが犯人だってにはちょいと状況が露骨すぎねえかい。俺にはわかるぜ。犯人は別にいるってな。
根拠は何ですか？無能さんを疑わない理由を知りたいです。
俺の勘がギンギンにささやくからだよ。こういう時の俺の勘はよく当たるんだ。
Well, fair enough. I'm glad we have some allies here.
非科学的すぎます。推理は根拠に基づき順序立てて進めましょう。
んだとこら喧嘩売ってんのかてめえはよ。
はい、やめえ。喧嘩はマジサゲポエちゃんだから禁止ね。
だけど科学の坊ちゃんが
The
よ。
difference between the people here, though. Like, damn.
別に無能先輩を疑ってるとか言ってないじゃん。だよね、科学ちゃん。
ええ、結論を出すのはまだ早いと思うだけです。何らかの方法で犯人が館を脱出した可能性やまだ館の中に残っている可能性も拭えませんから。
すまねえ。俺はまた先走った真似をしちまったようだ。
Well, we absolutely know why she's called Rowdy. Workaholic detective claps his hand, interrupted the discussion.
それぞれに思うところがあるのはよくわかった。今からエントランスホールにリーダーを迎えに行くから、その後は各自で自由に捜査を進めることにしよう。
待つのだ、社畜殿。せっかく探偵たちが集結しているのだぞ。我々は互いの手を取り合い、協力して事件に臨むべきなのではないか。
だけど、このわずかな間でも口論が発生している。
Yeah,
今
we're all
私た
too
ちは
different.
それぞれ異なる結論に向かって捜査を進めようとしているよね。協力は難しいんじゃないかな。
同感ですね。僕は自分なりの方法で冷静に科学的に捜査を進めていきます。
なんだよその冷めた目は。俺のさっきの発言を非難してんのか。悪かったって。だけど人間なんだからよ。最後は感情を重視しちまうもんだろうよ。
それでは探偵失格だと思います。
だとこら。
Yes, and this is probably why the game is basically based on we control these people to tell them where to go and what to do, because they can't work together. Downtown detective does her best to intervene as Rowdy shouts at Techie. Dowful stands beside the three of them, flustered and directionless, as Armor and Workaholic continues their heated debate. It doesn't seem like the investigation is going to start anytime soon. Just like Workaholic detective said, everyone's playing by their own rules, so no one is taking the lead.
皆さん
Basically, we got whacked in the head, and then then we were found by these people, which is all detectives. And basically, after that, we were following them because we were a part of the detective agency, or the detective, what it was called, the Detective Alliance. That was the name. Then apparently Rowdy found a knife with blood, because we tried to find basically a senior detective, the one guy we met before. So we managed to follow the track of blood to the basement just underneath where we got whacked in the back of the head. And right now we're trying to figure out who had done this. I want to suggest we all work together, but the words die in my throat. There's no way I could be so bold when I'm the prime suspect. I know that, and yet I feel like I need to say something. My fist clenches. Unlike me, each of the detectives here has their own talent and strength. It's my incompetence that really drives home how amazing they are. But that's exactly why I need to speak up now.
フォローなんてしてる場合じゃないでしょ。
I chime in, but my voice comes out so softly that no one hears me. Together these detectives could solve any case, yet here they are arguing. That angers me far more than being a suspect.
僕はまた救えなかったんだ。老子探偵の近くにいたのに。何もできずに見ているだけなんて、そんなの探偵になった意味がないだろう。
Hold on, my mother is calling. I'm just gonna mute myself for a moment. there we go. I'm back again. Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna be able to check so I can see the game as well. There we go. But yeah, I'm back. Thank you. Yeah, my mother just wanted to check on me, how I was, because I'm not gonna lie, these 2 past days I have been angry, and I mean like furiously angry. So as she asked, she just wanted to check that I'm feeling better, which I am feeling better than yesterday. But as I said to my mother, like I just feel sick, to be honest. Like I just feel like I have no energy left. Like I am too tired to do anything.
聞いてください。
Yeah, sorry to hear that, dude. It was nice for your mom to check on you. Yeah, mostly because I needed to call someone yesterday because I was about to freak the fuck out, to be honest. So she just wanted to check on me how I was because, yeah, like as I said, I need to find a flat and I get all of these places to check. I just feel like I'm just back to what I did before, and that's just annoying. The other detectives turn to face me. Naturally, they're all looking rather dubious, but also thanks so much. Thank you so much. You all are a wonderful community, to be honest. I falter for a moment, but it desperately pushes on.
僕を疑っている人は少なくないと思います。それでもいいです。疑われても仕方がない立場だと思いますから。だから一度、皆さんで協力して事件を捜査してみませんか？
協力か。それは難しいね。我々はどうにも捜査の方針が違いすぎる。
うちも協力には賛成だけどさ、現状じゃ無理くね。
Yo, dude, I'm gonna go and pick up my sister, so be right. Yeah, no problem. I don't know how much I'm gonna continue. I will probably do the normal 3-hour stream. If I feel for it, I might do just a tiny bit longer, but I don't know really just yet. I'm still like feeling how this morning streams are gonna be. I'm still gonna try to do them as best as I can, but just telling that that's how it is right now.
だから方針を統一してほしいんです。
I was not gonna lie, but I really appreciate the Moonlight Jacket's animation because it's a good way to tell if the stream froze or not. Fair enough. I was like keeping it there because I do enjoy the team. I was asked before because Lunari want to check out how everyone feels about it and stuff because she wants to basically take care of everyone in the team, and it's understandable. She was asking yesterday if she'd like fun. I hope I can get home fast enough so you say goodbye. Fair enough. But yeah, so David just wanted to check about how I felt about the team and stuff. And I enjoyed the team. I'm not capable of interacting with everyone because most of the people either streams when I'm really, really late, or like sleeping and stuff. But like I for example, talk with Leord a lot and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, like I talk to them. Oh, just checking some stuff as well on the team channel. I'm trying to go in there as much as I can, but there's sometimes it's very like silent there, so I just pop in now and then to check.
そうです。
I think the difference here is that I don't know why or how these people became detectives. I'm getting the feeling we became detective because of something happened in the past, while these people just felt they had the power or ability to do it. So I think their
皆さん
resolve.
全員で僕を犯人とする線で捜査してみてください。
So basically, they have the experience and the ability to do things, but I have the
僕が
resolve to
犯
do
人だと
this.
いう前提のもとなら、今みたいな口論も起きにくいでしょう。
Fair enough. The detectives fall silent. Maybe telling them to suspect me was too brazen a move after all.
正気かよあんた。
Well, to be fair, it's a very logical conclusion. They already thought so, and if they started to bark at each other that we have to find the real culprit and things like that, they don't know where or what to do. But if I tell them to, okay, look at me as the suspect and do what you do,
疑われてるとか言いかれてんのか？
then at least they have a
諦めずともいいではないか。
resolve to continue to.
急にどうしたのだ無能殿。
My resolve is fine, it's all of yours that is kinda whack.
何も諦めていませんよ。だって疑われるのは嫌です。でも僕のせいで捜査が滞るのはもっと嫌なんです。僕は皆さんの推理力にかけたいんですよ。
Fair enough. I don't like being the suspect, but if you are as good as you all are, then make sure I'm not. I raise my voice with all my strength, my trembling hands bailing into fists, balling into
僕
fists.
自身よりも皆さんの方がずっと信じられる。皆さんが協力して捜査してくれれば真実を、僕が犯人でないことを証明してくれるって信じているんです。
The detectives silently take in my words. None of them speaks up. They all simply stare at me, incredulous. I guess my suggestion was overstepping my boundaries. I've only made them all even more distrustful of me. But I don't regret it. I'd much rather have them outstanding detectives suspect me than continue arguing in vain.
我々なら君が犯人でないことを証明してくれると信じるか。探偵冥利に尽きる言葉じゃないか、探偵諸君。
I hear a cold, beautiful voice behind me. My breath catches as I turn around.
さて、容疑者にここまで言われて、諸君らはどうする？
I just realized he kind of looks like a nun in a sense with that, like, I know the sleeves, it's not sleeves, but it kind of looks like it in some place.
討論を続けるのか、速やかに行動に移るのか、答えを聞きたいな。
Her hair is white as snow, her gleaming eyes purple like hydrias, her skin smooth with features like porcelain doll. And here is what is kind of funny. It kind of gives the exact explanation of this woman as the girl in it from his past, except for the black hair. Everything else seems to fall exactly on how she used to look. At her back stands a far from ordinary girl. The others are visibly thrown off by her arrival. It's clear that she stands out, even among these prominent detectives.
リーダー、なぜこの場所に？到着したらエントランスへ迎えに行くと伝えていましたよね。
盟友である老子君が殺されたというのに、入り口でのほほんと待機などできようか。いいなだ。他の探偵たちを置いて、一人で先に来てしまったよ。
The girl, workaholic called Sheev, speaks without a hint of timidity. Footsteps sound out from the passageway. Eventually, the other detectives followed her lead, heading to this room.
地下室のこと報告していましたっけ？通路の罠で怪我してはいけないから伝えていなかったと思うのですが。
エントランスの床を踏んだ際に足音が下に響いていくのを感じてな。試しに床に耳を当ててみれば君たちの声が聞こえるじゃないか。
Fair enough.
それで大体の構造は察したよ。地下通路への道は開いていたし、迷い要素がないだろ。
That is fair, we left the door wide open. The chief shares her amazing feats as though they were simply a matter of course. We worked so hard to find this underground room, and yet she finds it merely touching the floor. No wonder the others look shocked. I startle as the girl gives me a smile. Compared to how she treats the others, her gaze on me feels more personal. No, I'm probably mistaken. I must be.
君が噂の新入りくんだな。私は理想探偵。
Ideal detective. Of course you're called the ideal detective. Especially if you're the chief.
先ほどはいい単価だったよ。君には期待しているから、その調子で物おじせず、どんどん意見を出すといい。
先ほどは取り乱してすみませんでした。他の探偵の皆さんも到着したら、事件の全容と私の推理を報告します。
ありがとう、社畜くん。助かるよ。ただ、勘違いをしていそうだから、最初にはっきりと言っておこう。この事件の容疑者は、私たち八つ崎港対策チームのメンバー全員だ。君にも、私にも、犯行が可能なトリックがあるんだよ。
Fair enough. Commotion erupts as the detectives speak over each other, which of course is unsurprising. Other than me, nobody else was in the manor at the time the senior detective died. On top of that, this murder required enough time for a full dismemberment. In what possible way could they have been killed? Oh, I think I remember now. I actually think I remember now how it happened and how, like, what went on. Okay. I, the detective, has only just arrived here, but their hydrated like eyes glimmer like gems, as if they're picked up on something. I think I remember. So I'm gonna foreshadow this because I think I remember, and this is basically how to explain it. They talked about the wire was used to dismember because it's extremely simple to just cut yourself with it. But there is blood on the roof. Why is there blood on the roof if it was dismembered here? Because it must have been such a force that it would be up there. But here is the thing. Something smacked me in the back of the head, and if I'm not mistaken, that was basically the chandelier. If the chandelier is basically good enough that it just falls so you're inside of it, then basically you will be cut up to pieces. And then, because they spoke before that there is a very slim area between the upper floor and the lower floor, there might have been basically a flip floor. Basically just flipping around, laying him on the ground in the basement, and they all believe he died there, because that is where all the blood is. There is no blood on the upper floor, because there is basically none there. Okay, speaking of none, I'm getting the feeling we actually have the real mystic here, or something. I completely forgot the girl, the second girl from the left design. Just damn. I think she was a chef or something. Wait, did you just narrate your own speech? Bookie. Oh, so Mystic. Yeah, I was right. It was like even called Mystic. Huh. I'm Bookie Detective. Oh, Bookworm Detective. I kinda love how she I was about to read that, but I realized she's narrating herself. A middle-aged man in anachronistic western garment and black-haired girl clutching a hardcover book approach the body, chatting. The man has the mien of a seasoned veteran. The girl, on the other hand, looks around 10. Yet doesn't flinch at the sight of a corpse. Both of them must be experienced detective. I think everyone here except us is. That's what we call it competent. Wait, who is the posh detective? I believe the posh detective must be the one on the left, because she basically holds a fan. It looks like she's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, her clothing looks very posh, to be honest. She's called Posh Detective. Okay, that is a way of doing things. Hold on, just trying to find a way to have my foot again. It's not as cold here now because it's actually really warm. The woman dresses so elegantly that she looks out of place, jabs a finger at me.
の庶民臭い男。無能探偵が犯人で決定ですわ。
No, because the knife was never used. Well, it might have been used to kill him, and then used a chandelier to slash him up. But other than that, it's like the knife wasn't really fully the reason for it.
また私の有能さをアピールしてしまいましたわね。リーダー交代の日は近いですわ。
Jesus, yeah, you're definitely posh.
あらあら、その推理は誤っているって理想ちゃんが言ってたわよ。
なんですって？どうせデタラメな推理なのでしょ？そうなのでしょ？
Oh yeah, gourmet detective. I was right with the chef thing. The woman called Posh Detective speaks to someone in a motorcycle suit, who smiles as if she's enjoying herself.
どうかしらね。そんなことよりもゲドウちゃんの匂いがしないのだけど、どうしたのかしら。おやつタイム？
Renegade. So we have a renegade detective as well.
ああ、ゲドウ探偵なら洋館へ着く前に今回の事件は興味が湧かないから。
And we're gonna have an ad in about 5 minutes, people.
きっと
Just warning you all.
リビングで寝ているのだろう。なんですって？大先輩である老子探偵がお亡くなりになりましたのよ。一体何を考えておりますの？マイペースを崩さないのが彼のいいところだ。また別の事件で活躍してくれるだろうから好きにさせてあげよう。
Well, it's called Renegade, so yeah.
リーダーであるあなたが甘いから序列上位の方々は命令無視が多いのですわよ。今回だって最高戦力である機密探偵も探偵
Classified detective and
じゃありませんの。
gentleman detective.
ピンカートン家の誇りにかけてこの私が必ずリーダーの座を奪って差し上げますわ。
Idol's detective doesn't flinch, and merely smiles at Posh Detective's
あり
belligerence.
がとう家族くん。君のような目的意識の強い部下がいてくれるおかげで私は安心して危険な事件にも身を投じられるんだ。もし私が敵にはめられて前線を退いた際は探偵同盟をよろしく頼むよ。不吉なことを言うんじゃありませんわ。この私を実績で上回るあなたほどの探偵が下手を打つわけないじゃありませんの。リーダーの座を奪うときは実力で奪い取りますからそのつもりでいなさい。我が宿命のライバル。
Alright. I do love we're still speaking about things while there is a dead body here, but fair enough. The Alcoholic detective explains the situation for those who arrived from the facility. Once he finished, the ideal detective addresses us.
君たちも目の当たりにした通り探偵同盟本部最後の生き残りと思われていた老子探偵が何者かに殺害された。そして殺した犯人はおそらく探偵同盟の中にいる。
Tension rises across the room. Some detectives look at each other, while others turn their gaze at me. It doesn't like they're going to stop suspecting me anytime
ど
soon.
うせ
Well, to be fair, I told them to suspect me, so...
私の高貴な頭脳がそう囁くのですわ。
私も同意見です。状況を冷静に考えていけば、無能君以外に犯行は不可能でしょう。
Well, you could tell me that by being almost hit by the murder weapon and probably just slashed into pieces.
庶民のくせにいいことをおっしゃるじゃありませんの。社畜探偵さん、もっと私を褒めたたえなさい。
褒めてはないかな。
はじめに最大の誤解を解いておこうか。そこの無能探偵などと呼ばれる彼は侵入者じゃない。
Well, you were the one who invited me. Huh, okay.
この会議の正式なメンバーだよ。
リーダー自らが一体何のために？
So somehow I'm not a suspect anymore because I was just invited here. And that is also strange, because this, as I said, is a girl that resembles the girl we met in the past. And she wanted to invite us specifically. But we weren't a member yet. As I sense in my confusion, all the detective's eyes meet my own. Those Hadria's hued irises implore me to trust her.
私が最も信頼できる存在をそばに置きたかったというシンプルな理由だよ。
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling you are either like sibling or you came from back then.
潜在能力を高く評価しているんだ。
He may not remember, but he once saved my life.
島へ招いてほしいと老子探偵
Are you actually the girl?
まさか拉致まがいのやり方で監禁するとは、さすがの私も予想外だったよ。
Fair enough, yeah. Recalling Detective's mouth hangs open as Ideal Detectives casually explains the unexpected. Which makes sense. It's an extreme mixture of business and private affairs. I can tell he is in no state of even begin questioning her. Not to mention, I'm quite surprised myself.
命を救ったって何のこと？今初めて出会ったばかりだっていうのに。
I guess the ad is about to start.
本当にそれだけかしら。疑わしい匂いが香るのだけれどね。
さすが美食君。
Is that really a biker outfit? If she actually rides a bike like that, I'm pretty certain her chest must be cold.
後ろめたいことなど一切ないからな。
無能君が犯人でないとしたら、犯人は誰なのかな。老師さんから連絡があった時、無能君以外の全員が現場から離れた研究棟にいたよね。
いい質問だな、飛脚君。君たちが無能君を疑った根拠は例の連絡だろ。それこそが犯人の仕組んだ最初の罠だ。そもそも老子探偵からの連絡はこの地下室から発信されたものではないんだよ。
Yeah.
あの連絡の直後にこの場所で老子探偵が殺されたのは間違いないはずですよね。
Yep, the ad is up.
わかったぞ。死後に電話させたんだな。ブードゥーの資料召喚の儀式を利用すれば確かに
Voodoo ritual, huh?
オカルトノームス野郎は黙っててくださいと妄言を口にする男性を少女は罵倒し、魔界君の推理は当然誤りだが、死者に話をさせるというのはいい発想だよ。今試して分かったことだが、この地下室では通信が遮断され、外部への連絡など不可能だからな。
Fair enough then. Even with the like roof being thin. The other detectives pipe up in shock. Does this mean that senior detective was restrained somewhere other than the basement when we made contact? That can't be right. There were 20 minutes between the message being sent and the detectives arrived at the manor. It would be impossible to drag someone down the narrow wire-filled passage, not to mention dismembering them in so short a time frame.
ロースさんから連絡があったのは事実ですよね。地下室では不可能ならどのように連絡を？
気づいてしまえば単純なトリックだよ。
I think I already figured it out.
犯人は老子君の声を真似ていただけなんだ。今私が行っている。
Oh, that is freaky. Good. Ideal Detective sounds just like Senior Detective as she speaks. If my eyes were closed, I might as well have mistaken her for the man himself. She's that skilled at impersonating him.
生体模写ですか。
Yeah, that could actually be it.
犯人が私の推理通りの人物像なら。
I kind of want to go to like the detective part of this game as well before like I end the stream. Vocal mimicry. I've heard about this historical skill from my mentor. It's originated from the Edo period theater. He told me how there were established methods of practice, that in the DA where disguises often came in handy. Many were expert in the art. Though I doubt I could ever master it, no matter how hard I tried.
探偵同盟に犯人がいると言ったのはこれが理由なんですね。さっきの研究員たちの虐殺もロースさんからの連絡の偽装も探偵たちの中に裏切り者が潜んでいたなら十分に可能だ。探偵なら可能な犯行であるがゆえに逆説的に 犯人は探偵の可能性が高くなる。
If I could just do automatic, I would go it on automatic, but it's such a mix here that I basically have to do it manually.
そのあまりの事態に混乱を隠せなかった。この事件の犯人
But I like that they have voice acting because it allows me to listen and just read.
天井をすり抜けてエントランスホールに行くよりもずっと。ちょい待ちちょい待ち。いくら探偵だからってうちには生体模写とか絶対に無理なんですけど。
It just happened.
その通りである。筋肉を鍛え上げてきた我であるが、生体は波。生体模写などとてもとても。
ああ、普通ならばできやしない。だが今回私たちが対峙する相手は平気で数十人を殺害する期待の殺人鬼。
Well, it's as people say, the best thief is a cop, and the best cop is a thief.
私たちが
They know how to basically outgo each other.
普通な発想を自分の価値観に押しとどめるな。目的のためならば自分の肉体を改造し不可能を可能とする。それが
Both of them fall silent at Ideal's detective's words. Her persuasiveness holds a weight that brooks no argument.
リーダー、電話をわざわざ偽装する。
Yo, welcome back, Annie.
ローシさん、
I'm still continuing, yes. Well, welcome back. We have now met the Ideal detective. We have met Mystic, Bookworm, Gourmet, and Ideal. Oh, and Posh as well.
ああ
And to make something a bit more simple for those who might have missed, and to make sure you understand as well, this girl, as you see here, Ideal, basically the chief, was described to us... right, Gourmet. I did the thief thing again. Gourmet. Basically, chef. But yeah, this girl was described to us. Yeah, lol, that is too consistent. Yeah, it really is too consistent. I don't think I'm gonna be able to if anyone doesn't like tell me off. I just had a deja vu. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, she was described the same way as the girl in the past 10 years ago. You know, like fair skin, hydrogia eyes, and dark hair. She was described the exact same way, except for her hair. No, not wait, was it Psycho? I don't remember her name. Basically, the girl from the past in this game that we tried to save but died. This girl here, Ideal, was described the same way, except for her hair. She even have the same eye color. Not only that, she did, while you were away, she did say that she was the one who basically invited us here. For the reason that she trusted us because we saved her life once. So I feel like somehow she is connected to our past. Because it's as we said, we forgot our past after like the whole event of what happened to her. But we know we escaped for the reason of we are still alive.
地下室でローシ君殺害の準備を整えた犯人は彼のデバイスを片手に地下室を後にした。そして計画通り研究棟で調査中の私に連絡を入れた。そしてローシ探偵の遺体を発見させるために探偵同盟のメンバーを洋館へ呼び出したんだ。
So we're about to actually enter the gameplay mode of this game.
待てよ。ローシのおやつさんからの連絡はリーダーが録音してくれた音声を俺たち全員が聞いたんだぜ。
声の違いに誰も気づけなかったなんてこと科学的にありえるんですか？
人間の記憶の特性だよ。人間の脳は構造上視覚情報の記憶が得意な一方で言語情報や聴覚
Dude, I just had an idea of a video of a game premise or another version of this game. Oh yeah, do tell me.
親しい相手であったとしても電話で声を聞いただけでは 正確に電話主を思い出せない例は珍しくない。
確かに取引先の名前を覚える際、容姿や声と名前を結びつけると覚えやすいと言われている。文字や
Also,
声
that
の
is
情報だ
gourmet,
けでは
by the
記
way,
憶が
to
曖
the
昧になる
right.
んだ。
電話で相手の名前を聞いた途端に記憶と声が結びつくことってあるわよね。それと同じ原理だと思うわ。
電話での振り込め詐欺がいい例だな。電話主に名前を先に口にされると、記憶と声に多少の差異があろうとも誤認してしまう。多少の声の違和感は通信の不具合が原因だろうと、自分で自分を都合よく納得させてしまうんだ。
Fair enough.
そういえばさ、老子のじっちゃんからの連絡、マジで聞き取りづらさやばかったよね。あれって声の違いを隠すためだったわけ？おそらくはな。すべてが作為的な連絡だったんだよ。
そこまで分かっているなら呼びかけに答えなければよかったではありませんの？犯人の思惑通りに探偵を派遣するなん
Well, we
て。
still need to figure out what happened.
信じたかったのさ。
Believe it was him. For the first time, Ideal Detective's expression grows dark and serious.
もし犯人が老子君を演じているのなら、彼は電話などできない状態だということだ。もう彼と生きて
Okay, that's a fair way of then taking
だ
it.
から私は老子君の生存に望みをかけて戦力を二分させることにしたんだ。洋館で罠が待ち受けていようとも。
Also, damn, like, hold on, let me check if I can do something here. Because I feel like... There we go. Because the background music volume is so loud. Okay, I think it's much better because damn, I could barely hear them. Her mirthless, sorrowful laughter startles me. I realize now that those skilled at detective reasoning can also foresee the grim future. Adult detectives predict the death of her friend. The pain she felt must have been greater than I can imagine. We have that. I think that is how we... Either we have the premonition with all that thing that happened before, or it basically is that we can predict something's gonna happen.
悲劇を嘆くことではない。悲劇の真相を解明し、陰惨たる結末を覆すことだ。殺害された同志23名の無念は必ず晴らしてみせる。探偵諸君、私に協力してくれ。この島に集まった13人の力が合わされば、必ず八つ咲き港の計画を。
Kitsune, hello! Welcome to the stream! How are you doing today? I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Hi! Nice to see you. Hold on, give me a second. I'm doing the morning/day stream because I'm actually working evening today, or this week, so I basically are changing some of my schedules. I realize that everyone else is silent, each of them listening intently to what Ideal Detective is saying. Oh shit, hold on, there was a lot of text, I'm gonna read both of them. Now, to be fair, it's probably been done, but I imagine all of the people here were people from the incident years ago that survived and escaped, but they are from different universes where they were the only one who survived, and they were all brought somewhere, but all of them remember one person, and the person is the one that can never survive in this one universe. They're all in the one where... No, fair enough, I guess. I am hecking exhausted. I'm about to run to bed, but I saw you were live and was like, I must go to the support. Yes, thank you so much for passing by here. It's absolutely wonderful. But yes, if you are tired, then absolutely go to sleep. Sleep is needed. I know that because I woke up 6 today because of me working 6 normally, in a sense, and like each second week. But I basically worked to midnight, which I'm gonna do again today.
早速だが、 みんなに調べてもら
But
いたい
yes, thank you so much for passing by here.
詳
It's
細な指示
absolutely
はデバイ
wonderful
スで
seeing
送る
you.
から今から伝える場所に各自赴いてくれ。私の頭
I
に
guess that's also something that is different whenever I stream like
君
mornings
たちの
now.
捜
It's
査が
just
終わった頃には輪郭を
different people being
間
able
も
to
なく
pass
実
by,
相を私たちの前に表すだろう。
which is always nice.
さあ、探偵同盟の諸君。
I want to at least continue to the place where I actually do the gameplay of this, but I can't continue for too much longer. I am gonna eat some lunch later on as well, and I am gonna just chill for a bit. Because then I'm gonna go to work. Sure, it is basically like 12, and I'm not starting until like 3. Idle detective appears to be deep in thought, so I decided to join armored detective in examining the body. True to the courting Duke's name, the victim's head, arms, and legs have all been severed away from the torso. The more I look, the more horrific the manner of death appears. It's so savage I can't believe the culprit is even human. But the cruel truth is inescapable. What lies before us is the depraved work of not a monster, but a person.
無能殿、この遺
I
体
can see the difference between
いく
those
ら
two
ワ
right
イヤ
now.
ーを使用したにしても断面が綺麗すぎる気がせぬか。
断面。
Grudgingly, I take a close look at the severed parts. They've been cut so perfectly straight, it seems unnatural. Yeah, because even if they used the wire and like use it by hand, it would cause sort of like a cross section, especially if they like did it around a limb. But if this is basically very clean, that means it was just from basically left to right and not basically from around and inwards. Ooh, that
い
was
く
some
ら
weird
こ
ass
のワイヤー
evidence.
の切れ味が優れているとしても人の力で切断しようとすれば途中で切断面にズレ
And I
が生
think I
じると思う
explained before what I believe I remember happened and also how I think some stuff happened. Because above us is actually the entrance, where we got knocked out because we felt
それ
something
だけ
was
切り口が
dangerous.
歪むであろう
And basically there is blood on the roof, which means I think this is a false panel, basically it turns around. So what I think is that someone put wires on the
あれ、つまり犯人は人の力で
chandelier basically,
別の方法で
and when it
ワイヤーを
was
巻き取った
underneath
ってこ
it,
とじゃん。
whether it was alive or dead, it basically just let it fall and let that fall be cutting him and then turn around the floor, which makes it look like everything happened underneath here, which makes people here incapable of figuring out how they did it in less than 20 minutes.
つまり
つまり
全然わからぬ
They are all detective, but some of them aren't the smartest bunch.
悪魔です。
Both of our shoulders drop.
そういえば
Well, we found a
なぜ
clue
か
at least.
天
That's
井
still
から血
something.
が滴ってくるのだが人間の血液は天井に届くほど勢いよく吹き
I
出す
already
ものなのだ
noticed that. Also, I remembered it.
本当ですね。天井にもべったりと血がついてる。どうしてだろう。
And we thought of how easily these wires basically cut someone. I don't think that it doesn't matter the force of it, it would not spray like that.
何が分かったんですか、武装さん。
我では力不足だということがよくわかったやはり我には推理は不向きなのである
Okay, fair enough.
素直な人だな。
Well, he wasn't really talking just to us, he was talking about himself as well. True to his appearance, armor really does fall on the brawn end of the spectrum. It takes all kinds of to be a detective, I guess. However, being that I'm the top suspect in the case, his candor and utter lack of suspicion are totally relief. At the same time, the chief did tell us, oh yeah, there is a detective game. Can't wait to see my goat Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, fair enough.
幾分かリラックスした様子じゃないか無能くん。
Ideal detective approaches, visibly enjoying herself.
先ほどまでの怯え切った顔と比べると段違いだよ。まああの顔はあの顔で愛くるしかったがな。
Thanks, I guess.
考え事は終わったんですか？
ああ、推理の展望はおおよそ見えた。あとは証拠を得るために各自に指示を出すだけだよ。
Well, good. We only just started, and already she's pieced together the truth of the situation. With intellect like hers, it's no wonder she's the facto head and second highest ranked member of the DA.
理想殿は何故我をこの場に残したのだ。お主は我のサポートなど不要だと思うのだが。
ああ、はっきり言って推理力の面において私は武装君にさほど期待はしていない。
Ouch, but fair. Ideal gives a quick, straightforward reply, to the point where it's almost impressive.
だが
I like the art style of this game, especially with thought of him having a helmet, but it does actually change depending on his own like reactions.
チームで動く際にいい影響を与えてくれる。今無能君が落ち着いて推理に臨めているのだって武装君に対して心を開いているからだろ。
Oh, that's fair enough actually. We were feeling much calmer around the armor. I nod. She hit the nail on the head. I'm much more at ease now than when everyone was clustered around me earlier. It's probably due to how much I already trust armor, as well as how confident I am that he would protect me from danger.
正直に言うとね、もうこの現場には調べるべき箇所など何もないんだよ。
Okay, we're done here apparently. So all of our investigative efforts were for nothing.
ただ、だからこそ断言できる。先ほどの君たちの推理はとてもいい方向に向かっていた。推理が得意な探偵が他に一人でもいれば、きっと多くの事実に気がつくことができただろう。我々の強みはチームで行動していることだ。
Yeah, teamwork is something that doesn't really happen easily here.
足りない力は補い合っていけばいい。この大切さを理解してくれると思ったからこそ、君たちには私のそばに残ってもらったんだよ。
Ideal Detective's voice brushes against us with a gentle comfort. At this moment, I see her not as a mature, mysterious leader, but for the younger girl she is, as if her mask has slipped off.
さて、他の探偵たちに指示を出しに行こうか。
I still want to know who she is, because we already know that somehow, even though we don't remember it, she has a connection to us. We saved their lives. Or their life, but I don't know when or where. That's something we have forgotten, and the only thing we've forgotten is how we escaped that test chamber, basically, whatever we could call it. So the question is, did we forget that we actually saved her? And we thought she was basically gone.
探偵デバイスのマップ機能を使用するといいよ。
As she speaks, Ideal Detective shows us the screen of her own device. Yeah, I think this is more or less where... Yeah, this is where the basically gameplay comes in. This is how the game plays.
各探偵の位置が表示されているのがわかるか？このマップには位置情報の共有機能をオンにして。
So this is how I explained before. It's not like Ace Attorney, but it is actually more like Digimon Survive, as I said before. Because this is how we play the game. So we have Gourmet. I forgot fully what there was something with D and then Posh. Incredible. You can see where everybody is at just a glance. Yeah, and there we have the chandelier that is down.
ああ、彼らには外の見張りをお願いしたよ。犯人が外部に逃げた可能性も考えうるからね。
Okay. I like how basically Armor is with us with this. It's like learning as well for some reason. Do you have a thing for downtown? Moments after shouting this, Armor Detective rushes toward the entrance.
言ってしまった。 社畜くんもヤマトくんもいるから平気だと思うが、まあよしとしようか。無能くんだけに教えておきたい機能もあるしな。
Oh, yeah, sure. Ideal Detective continues her
このデ
explanation.
バイスのマップには実はさらに3つ便利な機能があるんだ。まずは探偵たちが怪しいと感じた場所、ミステリーポイントをマーキングする。もし捜査に行き詰まった際はマークの場所を推理するといい。それとマップの色が変わっている箇所が見えるか。
Yeah.
それは私が個人的に怪しいと感じた箇所を色付けしたもの。
Okay, so they basically give us. Oh, it's like the PSP version of Persona 3.
証拠品が隠れている
Yeah, fair enough. I've not played Persona 3, unfortunately, so I
そして
can't
も
really
う
say.
一つが各自の現在の行動を伝え合う行動の共有機能だ。試しにカーソルを文学探偵に合わせてみるといい。
Bookworm? Where is
彼女が
Bookworm?
今何をしている
Oh, she's over
か
here.
一目でわかるはずだよ。
Detective's next action, such as infer or inspect, will display it overhead. However, the cursor over the detective to see where they intend to move
何度
next.
に違和感を覚えたか。やはり文学くんはいいセンスをしている。だが彼女一人ではまだその意味に気づけない。さて、無能
Also, I
君
kinda
の質
love
問だ。
Bookworm just because
自分では解けない謎に
she
詳しさ。
narrates
君な
herself.
らばどうする？
So here's a question for you, Incompetent. What would you do if you encountered a mystery you couldn't solve on your own? Ask for help from my fellow detectives.
先ほどの経験が早速生きているな。物覚えのいい子は好きだよ。私も君と同意見さ。自分一人で解決できない問題なら仲間の力を借りればいい。だが得てして探偵はプライドが高いものだ。いかんせん普段は一人での捜査が大半なため、多くの者は連携の経験が少ないんだよ。様子を見る限り文学くんもその一人だな。協力を促したところで無意味だろう。
Okay.
じゃあどうすれば。
Ideal Detective answers me with a smile.
介入してしまえばいいんだよ。彼らの推理にね。
介入？
つまり探偵デバイスを通じて探偵たちに今とは別の行動を命じるの。近くにいる魔界くんが適任だな。文学くんの元に移動させ一緒に操作してもらおう。じゃあ指示をよろしく頼むよ。
Okay. Actually, good advice. Sometimes there is just things you can't do on your own, so it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. I guess this is also what you would intend to me for doing. I like the idea even more now, yeah. I phrase up as like she casually orders me to do something completely unexpected.
何を硬直している。可愛いやつだな君は。私になりすまして指示を出せと命じているだけじゃないか。
That's all? What the Ideal's detective is asking for isn't easy just glossing over. Even Zorik's expression remains dead serious.
大丈夫だ。メールを送る感覚で行える。私のデバイスを渡すから指示してみるんだ。
The Kyoko is real. Wait. Oh, fair enough, actually, yeah.
未知への挑戦こそが探偵の本分さ。何事
You are actually right.
やってみるんだ。
Doesn't seem like I can back out of this one. I just have to try giving some instructions. Yes, I can tell them what to do. If this is left on their own devices, it will make errors. Investigate alone generally isn't sufficient. Intervene with those individuals and make them work together in order to facilitate a more efficient investigation process. Okay, so yeah. 9 hours remaining. That is basically like how many turns. I'm missing move to bookworm detective,
見
yeah.
てごらん。
Mystic detective bookworm, okay,
二人
yeah.
の推理力を足しても暖炉の謎は解けないことが分かるよ。
They're unable to solve the mystery of that fireplace.
そういう時
Oh yeah, because it needs
連携
12.
が得意な探偵
Okay,
に
yeah.
指示を出すんだ。
At times like these, you should give a command to a detective who is skilled at assisting. Okay, so for example, Bookworm has 6, which is not enough for 12. But if Mystic Detective does assistance, it boosts with 8, which is definitely more than 12. So that is how it works. Okay, so we're gonna do this. You need to assist.
いい指示だな。ときめいたよ。2人の推理力の高まりをぐいぐい感じる。これなら暖炉の真相にも容易に気づけるはずだ。さて、次はエントランスホールに視点を移そうか。家族くんがシャンデリアの周囲を独占しているな。美食くんと飛躍くんは遠慮して彼女から離れているらしい。操作に遠慮は禁物だ。美食くんにはシャンデリアを家族くんと2人で推理をしてもらう。
How much does Posh even have? Each mystery point MP has a set amount of resolution points. You can uncover an MP secret by reducing its RP to 0 advanced in the investigation. So it's like a puzzle tactic game. 9 hours. I don't know about doors, but I'm getting the feeling we actually cannot have 9 persons. Oh, what are you doing here, Techie? Okay, so you... I'm gonna move over here. And... So you have the interference of 2, which is not enough for this. But you have an assist of 4, which is enough. So I kinda like that this is basically like a tactical turn-based game, but it's more like a puzzle game at the same time. It's a mix of like tactical RPG with like you could choose whether to do magic, attack and stuff like that, but you are discover evidence. But basically they are I have to like move them to discover stuff, so it's very interesting. It's like a little puzzle game at the same time that I have to be able to do. その影響で事件の手がかりを発見しやすい。飛躍くんには体質を生かしてシャンデリアの周囲を調べてもらおう。私の推理では手がかりが残っているはずだ。Yeah, so evidence square contains within that you can find these hidden clues performing an inspection. Inspection is that, so what does you have for inspection? Inspection range varies with an individual's inspection value. For example, Dolphin is able to inspect up to 5 squares away. Okay, so basically you can do that from here. Oh, okay. Because apparently he is a trouble magnet, apparently. Okay, so now we basically start our turn. The preliminary investigation, only those who have intervened will act. It is wise to begin with this, as it can have new mysteries or clues. Well, we haven't intervened with Techie, there isn't much to do, so let's just start the investigation anyway. Yeah, fair enough. So they basically tell us, do as many people as you can, because it's good. But right now, Techie is just somewhere, it doesn't matter really. 調査すればいいんだよね。よし、ガム。また転んじゃった。あれ？絨毯が切れてる。どうしてだろう。Do as many people as you can because it's good. Yeah, exactly. Scrap of carpet. Did they move the carpet then? There we go. Boost.
なぜ私が協力しなければなりませんの？一人で十分ですわ。
まあまあ、上等なお肉だってスパイスが効いてこそ美味しく食べれるものじゃない？家族ちゃんはこの私を自分の推理に美味しく生かして。The only one I feel doesn't fit in with how they are explained is basically Gourmet. She doesn't look like a chef or something. Other than she's basically the only one that has a lot of meat. このシャンデリアの傷。家族ちゃん、ちょっと見てもらっていいかしら。
何ですのこの傷。まさか犯人が老子探偵を殺した方法って。
Evidence acquired. Scratch chandelier. Yeah, because I think it even fell on us and just smacked our head in.
なぜあなたと一緒に推理などしなければならないの
You
で
see
しょ
what I mean? She narrates her own stuff.
まあそう言うな。父の胸を借りるつもりで推理してみろ。暖炉というものはやはり趣があるな。薪を都度入れなければならないのは手間だ。
薪。そっか。あ、そういうことですか。少女は自分の抱く違和感の正体
I guess there's no firewood here. I don't know what a firewood. Oh, evidence acquired. Burned glove.
君の指示によって捜査が大きく進展したな。
Nice.
君は私が現れた際、探偵たちに協力を促していたが、あれは非常に的を射た発言だった。
Probably, yeah. She just still doesn't look like it. Most of the people here looks like what they're like dealing with or have stuff like that. She looks like a biker. Also, dude, just saw a nice review on this game on Reddit. You're a fan of Danganronpa, Serious Escape, Raging Loop, ASM New Files, and Ace Attorney. Pick up Process of Elimination, you will not regret it. Fair enough! That might explain why I just felt like I want to play this game.
僕なんて。
There's no way any of those detectives would follow what I say. Plus, they don't even need me. Ideal detective alone should be able to hold them together. Yeah, it really does. I guess that explains kinda why. That detective speaks as though she can see into my very soul.
歴史に名を残す指導者は得てして臆病者であると言われている。それは彼らが自身に何がなせるかより、むしろ何ができないかを知っていたからだろう。自分の弱さを知れば強さもおのずと見えてくる。無能君もきっとそうなってくれるものと私は信じているよ。
どうしてあなたはそこまで僕のことを。
Yeah, I think she doesn't know I don't remember it. She opened her eyes wide, fretting over something with an unfocused gaze.
まだ言えないというのは虫が良すぎるな。何かが起きる前に
Yeah, just cutting the grass, don't worry about it.
私がこの場に君を呼んだ本当のわけを。
The elusive air around her now feels tense and frozen in place as her hydria-hued eyes stare at me. My heart is hammering and my body feels hot all over. It starts to sound like something else. I guess her name is the same as the girl we tried to save back in the day. At that moment, a powerful force crushed me and my vision goes black. Someone suddenly leaps on my back, taking me to the floor. It is Renegade. My head spins, sparks explode behind my eyes, and my consciousness grows hazy. Through it all, I can feel a strong presence on my throat, or press on my throat. As my voice voluntarily slips out, I finally realize that someone is strangling me. I can't breathe. My mind starts to fade, and my whole body starts to go pale. I flail about in desperation, catching nothing but air. If this keeps up, I know for a fact that it's going to kill me. Yes, it was a renegade.
大丈夫か、無能君。一体どういうつもりだ、下道探偵。
デバイスのマーキング機能をオフにすれば、今みたいにいくらでも不意打ち可能だよね。 デバイスとにらめっこばかりしていると足元を救われるという懸念を伝えたかったんだ。許してくれ、ホームズ。
謝罪する相手が違う。この無能探偵深く、真摯に、心から詫びろ。速やかにだ。さもなければ、君。
オーケーオーケー。優先順位を間違っていたよ。Sorry.
Well, we did not know the name, learn the name, but I still think it's her. The lanky man has a nonchalant air around him. He turns to me wearing a fake smile.
俺は下道探偵。少しいたずら好きなだけの善良な探偵さ。好きな言葉は世界平和、趣味はボランティアだよ。仲良くしておくれ。
I don't like him.
なんだか真剣な
I
話
think
をして
it's
いた
meant
から
to not like him, but I don't
ついちゃ
like
ちゃを入れたく
him.
なってしまったんだ。ごめんよ。許してくれるかな。許してくれ。
He prattles on with his apology, finishing up with a cackle. I is startled when I notice a line of blood dripping down my neck. Whoop. Is it really funny to choke someone so hard that your nails rip their skin? I was genuinely prepared to die. How far is this guy willing to take a joke?
そんなに怯えた顔をしないでくれよ。そそられるじゃないか。
And now he's beaming at me. Face flustered with joy. Out of the detective I met, this is far the most incomprehensible.
君の気まぐれはいつものことだが、今回は少々度が過ぎる。次に同じことを繰り返せば、リーダー権限で拘束するぞ。
Idle Detective's voice grows harsher as she steps up to Renegade Detective. Renegade jokingly leaps back in an overdramatic fashion.
わかったよ。マイホームズ。不自由はごめんだ。君の言葉に従うよ。
言ったな。では今回の事件について、君なりの推理を口にしてみろ。どうせ、君にも真実が見えているのだろう。
Renegade's eyes grow wide. He sigh.
やられたね。珍しくやけに怒ると思ったよ。初めから俺に自分から協力を約束させることが狙いかい？
当然だろ。感情に振り回される探偵は二流。一流とは感情を武器として振るうものを言うんだ。
Idle the detective smiles in triumphant. So her harsh tone just now was a lie. I was completely fooled.
まあいいか。
But yeah, you know what? I am gonna probably have to end the stream here. Except I can't actually do anything. I can't save for some reason. Yeah, I need some lunch. I just want to do some extra because I want to at least get into the game mode here, but apparently I can't save right now. I have no way to actually do shit. I think it's a bit more of a story thing that you have to go through, so hold on a moment at least.
何を言ってるんですか？
His words are utter nonsense. What's more, he says it's all casually, as if he's telling a joke. Just listening to him makes my skin crawl. I'm not equipped to understand the person standing before me. Even the scene of the murder was less chilling than him.
推理するまでもなく中身が丸見えってことさ。絨毯の破片を調べてみるといい。俺の推理通りなら証拠が残っているだろう。俺を楽しませてくれよ。未来の名探偵君。
And with that, Renegade Detective taps my shoulder and departs. I think it's because it's like in the middle of the investigation, so we have to basically listen to this.
はい。まるで。
I stopped myself just in time. It was like talking to a villain, but I obviously can't say that.
まるで悪人と話している気分だったろ。
Jesus, she exactly knew. Idle Detective speaks my thoughts for me without reservation.
その感覚は正しい。事実、彼は幼い頃に両親をその手で殺してしまっているんだ。
Well, damn.
本物の殺人犯？それも両親をだなんて。そんな人がどうして探偵同盟にいるんですか？
Good question. It doesn't matter if he did it as a kid. Letting him have this much freedom is unimaginable. Why he was let into the alliance, I just can't fathom. It makes me suspect that he might even be the courting duke.
理由は簡単さ。彼ほど殺人鬼の気持ちがわかる探偵はいないからだよ。
Okay, yeah, it's as I said before. If you are something, then you know best how to
そ
deal
の
with
唯
it.
一無二の才能を生かし、私たち探偵同盟への協力を条件として一定の自由が許されているんだ。性格上、他の探偵と連携できないために序列こそ4位だが、推理力は私と同格と言っていい。まさしくその名の通り、世界で最も下道な探偵と言っていいだろうね。
Again, if I find myself astounded by the diversity within the DS personnel. Despite his past, he must be an outstanding detective now. He did give us advice after all. Even if he's terrifying, he surely has a talent for detective work.
仲間として信頼しないと。
I whispered this to myself, as if doing so will clear the dark thoughts clouding my mind.
さて、想定外の時間が取られてしまった。速やかに推理の大詰めへと取り掛かろう。下道くんは絨毯の切れ端を調べろと言っていたな。こうしたエビデンスは的確な検証を行うことで事件を進展させてくれるんだ。近くにいる探偵だと家族くんや科学くんが検証の専門家だな。家族くんに指示。
So I'm basically gonna do
僕が解
this
決しましょう。
and somehow analyze. I just don't know analyze what for something. But title screen. I think it saves here because it basically is like a turn-based stuff.